Part 8. Yang Mi, My Daughter Catches Ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 71. Damn it, Wang Zhenjiao was frightened and peed his pants again. Haha, I'm very worried now, does he have enough pants? With such a serious and even scary atmosphere, I shouldn't have laughed. But I really can't help it. I was scared to the point of peeing several times while watching a variety show. I was quite depressed at first. Now that I hear what Wang Zhenjiao and the staff are saying, I feel balanced. Haha. Huang Lei, Huang Bo, and others are probably going to send congratulatory messages. I really hope they can come to this show to experience it, haha. Come to think of it, I'm scared for them too. People are sitting in the car, and ghosts are passing by, it's so refreshing to be on horseback. If Little 11 hadn't just mentioned this, it would probably be fine. Just saying, if you haven't seen it before, it's actually okay, the key is that it's scarier if you see it. Yes. Think about it, a group of people wearing sackcloth and mourning are passing by you carrying a big blood-red sedan, and you might just be in that big red sedan. Aw, shut up. There must be something wrong with you people too. I have a picture of me riding a horse. The number of online viewers in the live broadcast room has broken records one after another, reaching more than 9 million people at this time. Other live variety shows have completely lost their popularity. The Lang sisters who are riding the wind and waves no longer practice singing and dancing. They are all watching the live broadcast here with their mobile phones. Heartbeat signal guests don't have time to fall in love anymore. The ghosts have come out, why are we still talking about ghosts? The residents in Dawao no longer had time to quarrel and chat awkwardly. Mencius also cried and shouted that he wanted to go home, and said that he had no pants. The most uncomfortable thing is the China Good Voice program group, and even the entire Blue TV program group. As the most evil and cruel TV station on the entire network, they have caused fatalities during their programs. Now I know that there are ghosts in the world. How can they not be afraid? More than 9 million viewers were online at the same time. Wang Zhenjiao was very happy and also collapsed. Happily, the program 407 directed by me has broken records one after another. Become a well-deserved hit top variety show in China and even the world. What was devastating was that, the fact that he peed his pants was known to more than 9 million viewers at the same time. It's really embarrassing to be thrown into grandma's house. However, Wang Zhenjiao collapsed a little too early. After he changed into another pair of pants, the producer handed him a look at the trending list. Wang Zhenjiao felt his eyes go dark and almost vomited blood on the spot. That's right. He is on the trending list. At this time, the hot search lists on all networks and platforms have been completely dominated by this program. Keywords for everyone. They are all related to Yang Mi, Dilruba, Zhou Xi, Yang Mi's husband, parent-child travel diary and so on. In addition, all the self-media public accounts are also focused on mass-producing short essays about this program. Well-known director Wang Zhenjiao peed his pants 3 times during the show. There are still people who doubt the authenticity of this program. Yang Mi's new variety show encounters a ghost. Even across the screen, I feel panicked. Xiao 11 shows off his skills and solves the problem with a blank sheet of paper. Good news. The ghost punching the wall is solved. Bad news, there was someone in front wearing sackcloth and mourning, carrying a blood-red sedan. How many ghosts are there in this world? Xiao Shiai's words revealed the truth. They may be by your side. Yang Mi's mysterious husband has a close relationship with Diliriba. The whole internet is calling for him to show up. All kinds of strange titles can be found everywhere on the internet. No way. The world is huge, this is the biggest thing. Which male celebrity sleeps with a fan, which female celebrity cheats on her, and which female internet celebrity cosplays with a little elk? No one cares much anymore. I just want to know what the world is like now. What should I do if I wait for others? In a Mercedes business station wagon. Yang Mi looked ahead. It seemed like a village of tombs. I kept beating a drum in my heart. I felt like my foot was trembling when I stepped on the accelerator. It was here that Dilruba encountered the ghost Apiao. Not long ago, there were 20 or 30 ghosts passing by, carrying a big red sedan chair. No matter how you look at it, it looks like there is a gathering place in front of the ghost's lair. But Zhou Shii swore that the front was safe. And he also said that this was the only way to go. In desperation, Yang Mi could only move forward. Getting closer to the village. The heartbeats of Yang Mi and Diliriba were getting faster and faster. It feels like it's almost jumping up my throat. Only Zhou Shii looked excited and looking forward to it. Finally, the car entered the village. The heartbeats of Yang Mi and Diliriba even reached the limit. Including the audience in the live broadcast room, as well as Wang Zhenjiao and others behind, they are all the same at this time. But nothing unusual appeared. The car turned a corner and came to the main road in the center of the village. Everyone was shocked. Because the front is not far away. The bustling crowd is not too big at all, it is too lively. That's right, it's lively. There were bright lights and a big stage was set up. There are more than a dozen sexy beauties in scantily clad clothes, twisting their waists. There was also the faint sound of music with a very distinct rhythm coming from the front. There are even laser light balls that are constantly shining. The background of the stage is a large LED screen. Various wedding photo combinations of a newlywed couple are continuously played on it in a loop. This is someone getting married. Yang Mi was a little at a loss. She thought about 10,000 possible encounters that might happen. But she never expected that someone would be holding a wedding carnival. How so? When I passed by in the afternoon, there was obviously a funeral held here. Dilruba was even more confused and confused. She looked ahead with an incredulous look on her face, her head buzzing. Reba. Are you sure you remember correctly? Could it be that the two villages are just more similar? Seeing the car getting closer and closer to the wedding carnival crowd, Yang Mi had to stop the car again and asked. It shouldn't be, impossible. That rugged path. Outline of the village. It's all exactly the same as in my memory. But at that time, we were walking here from the opposite side, leaving the village. But this time, we returned to this village from the way I went to find you. Dilruba said while looking around. Unfortunately, no matter how good his memory is, it is impossible to remember all the details just by passing by once. Moreover, she was in a daze at the time and had just woken up. So as I talked, I became less sure. Dong dong. Ah. Ah. There was a sudden sound. Yang Mi and Diliriba were so frightened that they all screamed. The audience in the live broadcast room, who didn't know how many, were frightened to the point of cardiac arrest. The scariest thing is, following the PD photographer and hearing the sound. Subconsciously, he turned the camera to the direction of the source of the sound. Main cab windows. A middle-aged man, I don't know when, stood by the window. Tapping on the window glass. Ah! Yang Mi's plum blossoms bloomed twice, and she was so frightened that her face turned pale, and her body hurriedly dodged back. Are you a friend coming to the wedding? Just find a place to park, and the table will be open immediately. Outside the window, a middle-aged man's voice came. He actually regarded Yang Mi and Diliriba as guests. Baby, isn't this also a ghost? And the ones in front, couldn't they be, all ghosts? Yang Mi looked at her daughter as if asking for help. She was the backbone of this team. She was really frightened. The 20 or 30 ghosts just now had already exceeded her limit. Now there are 2 or 3 in front of her. Hundreds of figures. If they were all the ghost Apiao. Yang Mi didn't dare to think about that scene. A group of demons dancing wildly, this is what they are talking about. Mom, don't worry. This uncle is a human being, and so are those in front of him. If they are ghosts, you won't be able to see them unless they are all evil ghosts that appear automatically. Joshi blinked her big eyes and answered truthfully. I heard Joshi say this. Yang Mi and Diliribo breathed a long sigh of relief, feeling as if the big stone in their hearts had fallen to the ground. The tense nerves of the viewers in the live broadcast room gradually relaxed. Pity. How great it would be if these were all evil spirits. Catch them all and train them together. Then send them to move bricks and drive screws. Joshi shook her little head and added, her tone full of regret. Everyone was stunned. This little ancestor, the ghost-catching plan that has been in his heart. He can't get through it no matter what. There are hundreds of ghosts, and they have to catch them all. Let them move the bricks and screw the screws. This little ancestor really dares to think. You are a master of art and are bold and not afraid at all. But have you ever thought about, whether we, the audience, can bear it? Just watching a variety show, we almost had heart attacks while watching it. After learning that there are people outside and not ghosts, Yang Mi plucked up the courage and put down the glass. The dance music with distinctive rhythm instantly impacted everyone's eardrums. Sorry, uncle. We are just passing by, not wedding guests. Can you tell the people in front of you and let us pass by? Yang Mi tried her best to raise her voice and shouted to the middle-aged uncle outside. Ah! Passing by. Oh, you think this is too unfortunate. In our small place, there are not many cars passing by. It just so happens that now is the time to open the running water table. The table is set, just waiting for the food to be served. Even if everyone gets out of the way, you probably won't be able to get through. The middle-aged uncle said, pointing ahead. Yang Mi took a closer look. I found that the road behind the crowd was really filled with rows of mobile dining tables. Although I don't quite understand why there will be a wedding banquet in the evening. However, the customs in each place are different, so Yang Mi didn't ask any more questions. Otherwise, on this great day, everyone who comes is a guest. You get off the car and have a wedding banquet together. No need to be polite, just feel free to eat. When everyone has finished eating, we will clear the tables immediately and you can come over. The middle-aged uncle extended the invitation very enthusiastically. Ah! No. Let's discuss it again and think of a solution. Yang Mi quickly refused. Even if she encounters such a thing in normal times. As a public figure, Yang Mi cannot get involved casually. Not to mention that today, she encountered a series of horrific incidents. This village also revealed that she has a strange suspicion. Even if she is beaten to death, she will not get out of the car. What kind of wedding banquet will she have? Mommy. Baby is hungry. The baby wants to eat a big meal. Yang Mi just refused, but Joshi raised her hands and spoke weakly. Look, the children are hungry. Come down. You're welcome. For our flowing water banquet, we usually prepare a few extra tables. Hearing Joshi's words, the middle-aged man invited again enthusiastically. Yang Mi and Diliriba just wanted to cover their faces. What is this little guy going to do? Finally, Yang Mi and Diliriba took Joshi out of the car. Including Wang Zhenjiao, the director of the program team, and more than a dozen staff members were also invited. Are they afraid? Fear. But who can bring everyone a sense of security? Joshi, this little ancestor. She said she was going to have a dinner, what else can everyone do? We can only follow her. Wow, so beautiful. Is this the man's guest or the woman's guest? Guest? Why do I look at those two women, they look so familiar. I'll go, wait a minute, let me calm down. Are those Yang Mi and Diliriba? It seems like it's really them. Oh my god, they are so beautiful in person, even more beautiful than on TV. Why did these two beautiful celebrities come to our place? He must be filming a show. Didn't you see that they were all followed by photographers? The arrival of Yang Mi and Diliriba made the already lively crowd even more restless. The little girls on the stage didn't care about dancing anymore. They all ran down to watch the fun. They also took photos with their mobile phones. And even boldly ran over to ask for a photo. Fortunately, the middle-aged man was quite prestigious in this village. He shouted a few times and explained the situation. He also asked everyone to try not to disturb others during the show. Finally, he took Yang Mi with him. They found a table and sat down. Wang Zhenjiao and a few others who were willing to show their faces also sat at this table. The remaining staff sat at the next table. Although they made it clear that they did not need to follow the others. Wang Zhenjiao still asked an assistant director to pay 54,000 yuan in the name of the entire program team. After all, it is not good to eat and drink for free. Soon, the dishes began to be served. 6 cold dishes, 8 a hot dish. Chicken, fish, prawns, braised pork, big knuckles, etc., everything is available, quite rich. After all, in this era, family conditions are very good. The running water mats in many places have also caused quite a stir on the internet. Made many children cry with greed. But, faced with such a sumptuous dish, no one dared to move their chopsticks. All eyes were on Zhou Xi. What a good person. Mommy. The baby wants to eat meat. Zhou Xi held a pair of chopsticks and reached out to pick up the braised pork. But because her arms were too short, she couldn't reach it. Subconsciously, Yang Mi picked up a piece for her daughter. Then she realized something was wrong. Is it edible? The reason why everyone is afraid to eat it is because the experience of this day has left a psychological shadow. Coupled with the scenes in various novels, TV movies, and movies, everyone always feels weird. She was afraid that these things would turn into stones as they ate, or even something more terrifying. But before Yang Mi could ask, Zhou Xi had already stuffed the piece of braised pork into her mouth and started chewing it. Wow, it smells so good. Dad is indeed right, eating at a big banquet is the most delicious. Full of fireworks. Mom, Aunt Reba, and these uncles and aunts. Why don't you eat it? Baby, I brought the necessary supplies for the banquet. If you don't eat, I won't be polite and will pack them all away later. Finding that Yang Mi and Diliriba had not eaten, Zhou Xi said hello. As she said this, she took out the essentials she said were necessary for a banquet from the small cloth pocket. A big red plastic bag. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 72. Wow haha, Xiao 11 actually brought a red plastic bag? Is she trying to laugh me to death? How many unreliable things did her unreliable pig-footed father teach her? What is unreliable? This is called turning into a feast-eating master, right? Our little 11 is awesome, and cute. I am your biggest fan. At a young age, he has already mastered the essence of eating banquets. What a role model for our generation. Haha. Xiao Xi eats so deliciously. This table is also very rich, which makes me want to eat at a table. I miss this atmosphere so much. Me too. According to the custom in our country, the wedding table must be set up for 3 days, and every household can come to share the meal. When I was a child, I loved to join in the fun. What Zhou Xi took out was an ordinary red plastic bag. It shocked millions of people in the live broadcast room. It made everyone want to laugh but was speechless. Don't be too ridiculous. But the tense atmosphere in the live broadcast room was actually because of this. The incident was relieved a lot. Yang Mi, Diliriba, and other staff members at the scene also had black streaks all over their faces. There were many people who saw Joshi gobbling up the braised pork. Looked like. I couldn't help but swallowed several mouthfuls of saliva. Hungry. Everyone was hungry. Because of a series of strange events, the original program schedule was disrupted. In addition, I was trapped on the road for half a day. Now it's 8 o'clock in the evening. They haven't eaten yet, and they are already hungry. Just now they were just worried and didn't dare to move their chopsticks. Now that they saw Joshi, the little boss was ready to eat. Everyone had nothing to worry about. When I pick up the chopsticks, I feel like I'm eating like crazy. The wedding banquet went smoothly. At least the 2 tables in the program group went smoothly. Even the photographers took turns eating. But at other tables, things didn't go so well. Have you seen the hot searches? No, I've been busy all day and I don't have time to play with my phone. It's not like Yang Mi and Diliriba came to our place and were on the hot search. Let me tell you something, Yang Mi and Diliriba are so beautiful and have such good figures. Yes. Even more beautiful than on TV. And that little girl is simply a little angel. You have such big hearts. There are ghosts in this world, do you know? Screw you, what are you talking about on this big day? No. You can read the trending searches yourself. Moreover, this matter is also related to Yang Mi, and may even be related to our village. On a table not far away, several people were chatting in low voices. When one of them said that there were ghosts in the world, the others didn't believe it at all and even scolded that person. Until that person turned on his mobile phone. Placed in front of several people. Everyone was silent. The eyes looking at Yang Mi and Diliriba again, have become very complicated, even very scary. Similar things are happening at other tables one after another. It was going on. It even reached the home of the host who got married. Like everyone else, everyone thought it was a joke at first. But when I turned on my phone, it was all about hot searches about ghosts in the world. And Joshi, surrender video clips or screenshots of ghosts. Those who don't believe it have to believe it. This is not the scariest thing. After all, even if many people believe that there are ghosts in the world, they are just a little scared. They don't feel that it has anything to do with them. The scariest thing is, the second half of this show. That is, the things that happened not long ago. On the way to our village, they encountered ghosts beating the wall. When they were about to enter our village, they also saw a group of ghosts wearing sackcloth and wearing mourning, carrying a big blood-red sedan chair. Doesn't that mean there are ghosts in our village? Now that's it. If it were the people at other tables, they wouldn't be able to eat anymore. Everyone is panic-stricken and trembling. They want to go home, but they don't dare to go home. If there is really a ghost in this village, it would be more terrifying and dangerous to go home. It would be better for everyone to get together. Woolen cloth. Mom, what happened to them? There are so many delicious foods, but they don't eat quickly and keep looking at us. Unfortunately, I read on the internet that even if you are folding vegetables when eating, you still have to follow the rules and you can only fold what you have on the table. Otherwise, baby, I can fold several plastic bags. Feel the various complex looks from around you. Joshi frowned and asked in confusion. Yang Mi couldn't help but cover her face. It's been so long, but my daughter is still thinking about folding vegetables. He is indeed a child. Once you decide on one thing, you will never forget it. So does ghost hunting. The same goes for folding vegetables. As for the discussions of the people around her, Yang Mi naturally heard them. I also wanted to understand why they all looked at me. After all, what the hell? I and others are the first in China. At least it's the first one that's made public. And those outrageous experiences just now are closely related to their village. It's strange that they don't worry. Give in, give in. The village chief is here. Not far away, there was suddenly a familiar shouting sound. It was the middle-aged uncle who warmly invited Yang Mi and others to a wedding banquet just now. Beside him, there were several people following. And walking at the front was an old man with grey hair and a thin face. Hello, dear guests. I am the village chief of Sci-fi village. Dare I ask, the ones they showed me on their phones are all true? You really encountered a ghost beating the wall outside our village? And I also saw a group of little ghosts wearing sackcloth and wearing mourning, carrying a big red sedan chair. The old village chief came to Yang Mi and others and asked in a sincere tone. Just his words shocked Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others. Sci-fi village? This name sounds a bit scary. Although in Kyoto, the princess tomb and other things are also very famous. But at that time, I didn't know that there were ghosts in this world. Now, I hear such a name. Again, coupled with all the experiences just now, it is really scary. The most important thing is, the shape of this village from the outside is like a tomb. Yang Mi and Diliriba both remember it fresh. It looks like a tomb. The name is Sci-fi. When I came here, I either had ghosts hitting the wall, or I really saw ghosts. Various factors, combined together, made everyone doubt again. This is really not the lair of a ghost Piao. Old village chief. Tell the truth. Everything you said is true. In this world, there really are ghosts and gods. My daughter and my husband should be legendary cultivators. I've been kept in the dark before. It wasn't until today that I got to know the world again through my daughter. It was precisely because of her just now. Let us come out, the scope of ghosts hitting the wall. And saw the existence of those ghosts. Yang Mi stood up and answered the old village chief's question very seriously. To this day, the program has been broadcast live like this. The internet is spreading and talking about it crazily. She has nothing to hide. And even the General Administration of Light asked them to continue the live broadcast. It was obviously to let the people slowly understand reality and this new world. As soon as Yang Mi's words came out. Read the cool novel, go to Feilu Novel Network. If it were other people in this village, they would be frightened. Actually, there is really a ghost. In fact, when I looked at my phone, I almost believed it, but the big star Yang Mi herself admitted it, which made me even more sure. Let me just say, I encountered a ghost hitting the wall last time. You still don't believe it, otherwise, how could I have slept on the road until the next day? It's not scary if a ghost hits the wall. The scary thing is, they met 20 or 30 little ghosts at the entrance of the village, carrying a large blood-red sedan chair. I was scared to death when I watched that clip. Me too. When I saw it, I didn't even know it was the entrance of our village, and I was already scared to death. Later I found out it was our village. My mood at that time almost made me pee with fear. What to do? Our home is at the entrance of the village, next to the road where they hit ghosts. And I'm the only one tonight. No, I won't go home tonight. Who among you will take me in? The villagers gathered around were in complete chaos and talking about each other. After all, they were happily attending a wedding and eating a wedding banquet that night. Suddenly, someone learned that there is a ghost in this world. And there was a ghost at the entrance to my village just now. No one can stand it. All right. Stop making noise. Where there are ghosts, there are ghosts. Old man, I have always believed that there are ghosts in this world. Otherwise, where will people go after they die? The old village chief turned around and shouted to stop everyone. Although everyone became quiet, their faces were still very ugly. After all, things like ghosts are too mysterious and unknown. For the old village chief, these people have always been. For the old people who believe in everything, it may be a little better. For young people who have received 9 years of compulsory education and have always believed in science, it is really a bit strange to suddenly learn that there are ghosts in the world, and they also appear in their own village. I can't stand it. This old man is right. Ghosts are nothing to be afraid of. Joshi raised her oily little hand and began to persuade everyone. Ordinary little devils can scare people at most. Fierce ghosts and evil spirits won't show up easily. It's just that in recent times, the barriers to the yin spirit realm have been unstable, and yin spirits have never crossed the border. Just wait until this period of time passes. And I've seen it all. Everyone present is human, not a single ghost. Therefore, if you feel at ease, you should eat and drink. Don't think about it all day long and scare yourself. Being looked at by you like this. This baby is so ladylike, I am so embarrassed that I am biting my elbow. After finishing speaking, Joshi returned to her seat. She picked up the uneaten big elbow on the plate, opened her mouth and bit it in one bite. This scene made everyone around them look extremely confused. At first, when I heard Joshi's words, everyone felt quite healed, and their frightened little hearts slowly calmed down. After all, how powerful this little girl is. It was widely praised on hot searches and on all major online platforms. It's just that at the last moment, everyone didn't expect that they were flashed. You said so much, is it because we disturbed your work? Haha, I can't help it anymore, I'm going to laugh out loud. Xiao Shii is so funny, he is indeed a born comedian. It's too difficult for me to watch a variety show. When it's scary, I'm scared to death, and when I'm happy, I'm scared to death. It's really killing me. The flip happened so unexpectedly. Haha, it's been going on for a long time, it's a tragedy caused by a big pig's hoof. Another day of envy for Damami. My daughter is beautiful, cute, and funny, and she can also practice magic and catch ghosts. Upstairs, you are wrong. She also has a mysterious husband who is worth tens of billions and is even more powerful than Xiao Shii. The key is that he can inject Damami with the magical essence every night to stay young and whiten his skin. Damn, that's right. I also want to be like Damami, getting younger and more beautiful. I also want lots and lots of serum, fill me up. Winner in life. Damami is the winner in life. I suddenly understood why those stinky men were jealous before. Now I am also jealous of Damimi and want to get that big pig's trotters. Just like who doesn't want to? Even if I don't get it, I'm still willing to just be a pussy for that man. Just give me 870 essence every day, every week. Big sisters and little sisters. Please stop driving. I was led to take off by you before, and then you scared me half to death. I am afraid that I will leave something wrong. While you are having fun, have you ever thought about the feelings of the villagers in this village? I feel like they're going to be scared to death. Whoever it was, knowing that the entrance to his village was haunted, would probably not be able to sleep well tonight. So we are quite lucky, at least not in our village. Upstairs, how can you be so sure that your village doesn't have one? Maybe more. Damn it, you did it on purpose, I really don't dare to sleep. The number of people online in the live broadcast room has once again hit a new high. There were more than 12 million people. Because of the pig's hoof incident, the atmosphere was still very relaxed and pleasant. For this reason, many people have become Joshi's biggest fans. After all, today's joy and sense of security were all given by her. Of course, there are still bad people among the masses. From time to time, someone would come up with something alarmist. Gives others chills down their spines and always feels like there is something behind them. Look, look. There are so many people, but they are not as good as a little girl. Isn't it because there are ghosts in this world? There is nothing to be afraid of. Didn't I say that last time? After my old lady died, she came to see me once. Said he would take me away or something. It's just that I miss my descendants and am reluctant to go with him. Pointing to Joshi, who was immersed in cooking, the old village chief continued to persuade everyone. But his persuasion was obviously counterproductive. The people who had just been persuaded by Joshi and felt somewhat relieved. After hearing his words, their nerves suddenly became tense again. Are you sure you are trying to persuade us? You have proved once again that our village is really haunted. However, everyone was silent and did not dare to question the authority of the old village chief. At this time, Dilruba stood up. There was a question that had been puzzling her for a long time, and she had been holding it back in her heart without an answer. Now it happens that the people in the village and the old village chief are here. She wanted to verify what happened. Seek peace of mind. Old village chief. I have a question. It's at noon today. I was in a daze, as if I was passing by this village in a car. But at that time, in this village, someone was having a funeral. Finally, people gave way. We walked under the tomb. Excuse me. Is there another family in our village who is having a funeral today? Or did I remember it wrong? Not this village. After Diliribo finished speaking, Yang Mi, Wang Zhenjiao, and others all pricked up their ears. This question also puzzled them for a long time, including the audience in the live broadcast room. They all cheered up. They were waiting quietly for the truth revealed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 73. A funeral. No. Our village is not big. If any family has weddings, or other events, I will arrange for help. Today is about the Yangui family boy getting married. You must have remembered it wrong. In response to Diliriba's question, the old village chief responded. Yang Mi and others all breathed a sigh of relief. The audience in the live broadcast room also felt relieved. I'm sorry. I must have remembered it wrong. Maybe I was asleep at the time and just woke up in a daze, so my memory is a little confused. Dilriba looked apologetic and nodded slightly to the old village chief and others. After all, this is a happy event in the village. It would be unlucky to ask that question by yourself. But, even if the old village chief gets the chance, the definite answer. Diliriba is still a little confused in her heart. Could it be that she really just woke up and remembered it wrong? Although the distance was opposite when she went and when she came over. But Diliriba felt that she was already awake at that time. It was at a similar location to the stage, and their car was blocked by the funeral shed. It was the driver who got out of the car, handed people cigarettes, and communicated with them. They moved a lot of things and made way for cars to pass. It was precisely because she passed by their funeral shed from here that she woke up and felt a little confused. And not long ago, it was that a right-angle turn at the entrance of the village. After the right-angle turn, it was the road they came from just now. It was on that road that they hit a ghost because of the little crane. They saw a group of people wearing sackcloth and mourning, carrying a big red sedan. If you continue to turn forward, it will be the rugged road. At that time, she was so bumpy that she looked at the scenery on both sides of the road. Especially when she saw the village from a distance when the time came, it looked like a tomb-like outline. Everything, nothing, had changed at all. But why? One was someone who died and was having a funeral. The other was someone who was getting married and was having a wedding? Is it really possible? Yes, two villages so similar, two sections of roads so similar? What a coincidence. Okay, Reba. Don't worry, it's probably because you were asleep. Let's finish our meal quickly. Then go to the hotel found by the program team and sleep, and you'll be fine tomorrow. Seeing something was wrong with Reba, Yang Mi quickly stood aside and comforted her. Dilruba nodded lightly and was not ready to say anything else. However, at this moment, the middle-aged man next to the old village chief, who had just received Yang Mi and others, came over again. His face it looks a little pale. Girl. You said you passed by our village at noon. Is there someone holding a funeral in this place? I want to ask you something. Were you driving a white car at that time? It looks big and impressive. It must be quite expensive. When the middle-aged man spoke, he couldn't help but swallowed several times, as if he was very nervous. Ah, that's right. At that time, I was riding in a Toyota Alpha Nanny car, which was indeed quite large. Dilruba nodded repeatedly, and she couldn't help but feel a bad premonition in her heart. Could it be that she really lived here? But, the old village chief just said clearly that no one is doing funerals here. Did the guy who was driving the car bring us cigarettes? Is it, Zonghua cigarette? The middle-aged man asked again. When the driver got out of the car, he indeed took a pack of cigarettes. He said that when we meet, we first hand over cigarettes so that we can talk easily. As for what kind of cigarette he took, I don't know because I don't smoke. I just remember, it seems to be in red packaging. Dilruba tried hard to recall and said. Ah. That's right. Coco, but, why is this happening? After the middle-aged uncle finished speaking, his face became even paler, and sweat instantly covered his forehead. Yangfu. What happened? The old village chief also heard that something was not right in the conversation between the middle-aged uncle and Diliriba, so he asked. Village head. Today, at noon today. There is really a white car passing us. It looks very luxurious and expensive. You also know that in our small place, there are basically no outsiders passing by. So when we were setting up the stage at noon, we walked directly in the middle of the road. Who would have thought that today would be such a coincidence, a car would just come. But the guy who drives the car has a very good attitude. He got out of the car with a smile on his face and discussed with us to move away. He also handed each of us a Chinese cigarette. Several of them were there at that time. The middle-aged uncle said and pointed to a few young guys standing aside. That's right. There is such a thing. And I can be sure that that car is the Toyota Alpha, the nanny car of many celebrities. But I didn't expect that Diliriba was actually in the car at that time. And what we built is the stage. It's also a great wedding event. Although at that time, the stage was just a shed. But you can see the frame of the stage at a glance. Why would she say that someone was holding a funeral and setting up a funeral shed? One of the young people pointed to the stage for singing and dancing not far away. The other young people also nodded in confirmation. For a moment, the surroundings were quiet. It was clear that 200 to 300 people were present. But the silence is terrifying. There is no sound, and you can hear a needle drop. You can even hear a few people, breathing heavily and swallowing saliva because they are too frightened. I originally knew that there are ghosts in this world. And it is at the entrance of this village. There is a ghost. It has scared me to death. Now, something like this happened again. No one else can handle it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I'm getting goosebumps. Wasn't everything fine just now? Why come again? In order to worry about peeing my pants, I'd better take off my pants first. Should this variety show be so fast-paced and full of ghosts and ghosts? Brothers, you may have made a mistake. It's not that he keeps pretending to be a ghost, but from noon to now, I'm afraid it's been a series of events. It seems right? At noon, the ghostly old lady Apiao began to chase the goddess Reba from here. Unexpectedly, Damami, Reba and the others would come here again that night. When they were trying to break the wall, I felt that things were not that simple, as if there was something controlling everything behind the scenes. Now I am more convinced of this idea. What happened? Why is it that one is doing funerals and the other is doing weddings? And it's still the same place. Who remembered it wrong? Goddess Damami, run quickly. There is definitely something wrong with this village. I'm afraid these people all have something wrong too. Impossible, Xiao Shi, I just said, these are people and not ghosts. And if they were ghosts, they wouldn't have been so scared just now, right? Everyone has their eyes peeled sometimes, and who can guarantee that little 11 will not see it wrong? What if these people's fears are all fake? Damn it, stop analyzing, I'm really going to pee. There are 200 to 300 people here. If they were all ghosts, wouldn't this village really become a ghost den? Have you forgotten that this village looks like a tomb from the outside? The name is even called Shalifen. Another point is that those people wearing sackcloth and mourning carry a big red sedan chair, which seems to have a deeper meaning. Ah, shut up, shut up. I really can't ride a horse anymore. Not only was he about to pee, he was about to have a bowel movement. More than 10 million people in the live broadcast room once again experienced the feeling of being there. The village is that village. The funeral has turned into a wedding. The funeral shed has turned into a stage. Think about this scene, it's like it's so scary. If the funeral shed or something is fake, that's okay. If the wedding and the current stage are fake, it makes people really scared when they think about it, and it will send chills down the spine. How could this happen? What went wrong? Originally, Yang Mi had stopped doing it. Now she stood up involuntarily. Looking around, she also thought of various possibilities. She instantly felt like she had taken a risk covered in cold sweat. Or, shall I call the driver? Wang Zhenjiao stood up at the side and said quietly. No one said anything, but everyone's eyes were all looking at him. The meaning was obvious, waiting for him to ask why. Don't look at me like that. I'm scared too. Fight now, fight now. Wang Zhenjiao touched the cold sweat on his forehead. He quickly took out his cell phone, found the contact and dialed it, and at the same time pressed the hands-free button for everyone to listen. I was so scared that I peed my pants 3 times today. It was already embarrassing enough. I just barely escaped being scared to death by these people. If you pee in public, I'm afraid it will be trending again, and you will be embarrassed and thrown into grandma's house. What worries Wang Zhenjiao the most is, I have been scared to pee so many times, so I won't form a habit and become a prone to peeing. Who could bear it if he peed his pants at every turn? Today is the first day of this variety show. Hello. Director Wang. What's the matter? Didn't Bailu's flight arrive at 2 in the morning? Is the schedule advanced? I have just woken up from sleeping in the afternoon. I can pick up the plane at any time in the evening. As soon as the call was connected, a rough man's voice came from the phone. Wang Zhenjiao was so angry that he almost dropped the phone. What the hell is this? He directly revealed the next guest. But when he thought about this variety show, has been played like this. If it comes out, let it out. It's not certain whether Bailu dares to come now. The audience in the live broadcast room was excited. After all, there are more than 12 million people, and most of them are young people, so they naturally have many fans of Bailu. Although this girl is said to be a fairy if she doesn't smile, but a witch when she smiles. But she is still very popular on the internet. For example, the story about Milk-Skinned by Menjian, Peerless Beauty by Menjian, and Fairy Descending to Earth by Menjian, they would often be taken out and flogged. Lao Li. When you sent Dili Reba to see us at noon today. Did you pass by a small village? Still blocked. Do you remember why the road was blocked at that time? I don't have time to argue with him and expose the guests. Wang Zhenjiao got straight to the point and asked the questions that everyone is concerned about. Small village. Oh, I remembered. There is indeed such a thing. It seems that there is something wrong with the car's navigation, and it was inexplicably navigated to a village. There's a wedding going on in the village, and the stage is being set up. I went down and handed over a few huazi, before I asked them to move the things and drive the car over. What's the matter, Director Wang? Do you want to reimburse me for the huazi money? The driver called loudly on the other side obviously didn't know what was going on here. He even joked with Wang Zhenjiao. Wang Zhenjiao hung up the phone directly. Everyone's eyes turned to Delire again. On Ba's body. Damn it, what a shocking reversal. What's going on with this horse riding? Goddess Reba is really sleepy? But that's not right. She brought a ghost with her into the car, this is an indisputable fact. Do you think it's possible that there's something wrong with Deliriba? In other words, is there something wrong with Deliriba, who doesn't know the truth? What do you mean, Deliriba can still be fake? Ah, you don't mean that this Deliriba is a ghost. Oh my god. If there is really something wrong with this Deliriba, could the ghostly old woman Apiao who was taken into the car be her accomplice in hiding from others? Probably. One is in the light and the other is in the dark, no wonder they keep bumping into ghosts. There are ghosts in the car, okay. And that mysterious palm print on Diliriba's body. Could it be that it's just to kill people, to kill ghosts and silence them? She was afraid of that ghostly old woman, Apiao. After being caught by Xiao Shii, she would be confessed. I'm so stupid, can you stop analyzing it? The more you analyze it, the more scary it becomes. If Deliriba is fake, where has she really gone? To be honest, I have doubted Deliriba before, but you don't believe it? Please, please, stop it. It's getting more and more outrageous and terrifying. It's not just the online viewers in the live broadcast room who are doubting Deliriba. The 200 to 300 people at the scene, there are also many people looking at Niuzhao, Deliriba at this time, full of suspicion and vigilance. The facts are before our eyes. Even the driver brother who drove the car confirmed this. So there is only one person who lied, and that is Deliriba. Although everyone does not know why she lied. But if not, there is a ghost in her heart, why would she lie? Unless, she is a ghost herself? Many people thought of this possibility and quickly took a few steps back. What if her true identity was revealed and she directly transformed into a ghost? The distance is getting closer. The closer you are, the more likely you are to suffer disaster and death. No. Don't look at me like that. I really didn't lie. There is no need for me to lie. At noon, I did see a funeral shed built here. There were many people wearing sackcloth and mourning, walking around. Deliriba panicked. This time she was panicked like never before. No matter how terrifying or frightening her previous experiences were. She had Yang Mi by her side, and the program team and others stood together. But now, she feels like she has become a person. Isolated and helpless, a person stared at by everyone. Although Yang Mi and the people in the program team have not expressed their opinions yet, nor have they quickly moved away from themselves. But what they saw, and what everyone saw, are all the same. It's different, this is the biggest problem. Why? What is this? Why do you put me through this? Who is it, who is setting me up? Deliriba felt like she was going crazy, muttering to herself. But she didn't notice. This state of herself made the people around her even more frightened, even more frightened. It was as if she had completely lost control. In the next second, he will transform into a fierce ghost and pounce on everyone. Yang Mi, My daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 74. Reba. Just calm down first, don't worry. Are you sure you really woke up at noon? Instead of having a nightmare? Seeing that Reba was about to collapse, Yang Mi quickly gave an admonishment and asked Reba to think about it carefully. Sister Mi. I hope it's a nightmare too. Or I can lie. Now I immediately changed my mind and said that I was just dreaming. Or maybe I didn't wake up and saw something wrong. But, I really remember it very clearly. I woke up when I passed the funeral shed. Until the place where you rest. He never slept again and remained awake. Dilruba said with a forced smile. Her originally delicate and pretty face was now full of bitterness and helplessness. Baby, what do you think about this matter? Oops. Baby, please put down your big elbow first, we will eat later. Yang Mi was helpless and turned to her daughter for help. Although this daughter was only 5 years old, she had been working very hard. She was grinning and fighting to the death with that big elbow. But she is now the backbone of this team. It would be impossible without her. Ah. Baby, I don't have the ability to rewind time like my father. I can't reproduce the scene at that time. So I don't know what happened at that time, baby. But, baby, I can be sure. Aunt Reba did not lie. The old grandfather, the uncle, and the others didn't lie either. Joshi pursed her lips, and said with great certainty. But when she spoke, her big eyes flickered, staring straight at the big elbow in Yang Mi's hand, unable to move away even if she was alive. The eyes are full of desire and expectation. That pitiful look makes people feel distressed and funny at the same time. Do Mimi, please give your big elbow to Xiao 11. Look, the child is so greedy, his saliva is about to flow to the ground. Although I feel sorry for Reba, I want to say, little 11 is too cute. Sometimes he's weird, sometimes he's cute, sometimes he's a little cultivator, sometimes he's a manic snacker. The scene of her fighting with Big Elbow just now was not too funny. I took screenshots of all the emoticons. Am I the only one who feels that Xiao Shi is a bit too unhuman? I feel the same way. Isn't she awesome? Her mother and aunt were almost scared to death, but she still had the heart to eat. Brothers, is it possible that even if she knows too much, she is only 5 years old? The innocent world of children is different from that of adults. She didn't feel any danger, so she had the guts to bury her head and work hard. Okay. The sense of immersion was so strong that I was a little angry just now. Thinking about it carefully, it seems that everyone might be scaring themselves. Don't forget, when that ghost of Piao old woman went crazy. Xiao Shi has always been in front of Reba and Damamai. Yes, when the old lady of Piao blew herself up. Not only did little 11 take action to stop him, but he also wanted to protect everyone. When it's time to be reliable, he will still be reliable. Alright? From an adult perspective, I actually blamed a 5-year-old girl. I deserve to die. The viewers in the live broadcast room were having a great time discussing it. Yang Mi, Reba, and others at the scene were still trapped in the fog, unable to extricate themselves. I'm not lying. What's going on? One is a wedding and the other is a funeral, they are so different. How could he not lie? The chief director Wang Zhenjiao originally didn't want to talk much during the live broadcast. He just wanted to be a tool and make a living. But the current situation made him have to keep quiet. Because he felt that he didn't understand the truth. Maybe he would, I was so scared that I peed my pants again. Whether it was a real wedding or a fake funeral. Or a real funeral or a fake wedding, it was all a bit chilling and scary. Why does someone have to lie? Maybe Aunt Reba, or these villagers, were affected by something. So what they saw was fake, but they thought it was real. Joshi, I asked innocently. The words woke up the dreamer. The confusion in everyone's hearts was solved at the same time. That's right. Why does someone have to lie? Maybe it's just one person who was confused by the ghost. Ah. Wait. The ghost. After talking for a long time, isn't this still haunted? And it may be a very powerful ghost that has fooled everyone. Both sides were frightened this time, one by one. I want to cry but have no tears. What we want is a stable ending. Why is there such an exciting beginning? Mommy, can the baby continue to eat? Do not worry. No one is in danger now. There really is a ghost at work, the baby will protect everyone. Of course, the premise is, the baby needs to eat enough. Only then did I have the strength to catch many ghosts to protect everyone. Joshi, I looked at the big elbow in Yang Mi's hand and asked weakly. Yang Mi didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and just wanted to cover her face. Cat, how could I have given birth to such a snack food who has no other focus than just making food? It's all that stinky man's fault. He must have passed it on to his daughter, the foodie gene. Eat, eat. Be careful not to get oil on yourself. In desperation, Yang Mi could only return the big elbow in her hand to Joshi. She was really afraid that her daughter would be greedy. Yongfu, go and ask if there are any elbows left, and give one to this table. This little girl is so cute. If she wants to eat, let her eat more. The old village chief was also amused by Joshi and couldn't help laughing. He opened his mouth and gave instructions to the middle-aged man beside him. Thank you, Grandpa. Joshi thanked her very politely while eating. Not long after. This table really adds another big elbow. Joshi was so happy that she almost burst out laughing, because except her, no one else at the table was eating. After Joshi's unique enlightenment. Finally, everyone no longer doubted and suspected each other. Dilruba is no longer isolated and helpless. But, just because you don't doubt it doesn't mean you're not afraid. On the contrary, everyone is now more scared, more confused, and even more confused. Apart from Joshi, she can also concentrate on cooking. Apart from the grinning one and the big elbow fighting to the death, the others have no appetite. Just kidding, there might be a ghost in the village. But it's been through, what happened just now, everyone got to know each other a lot. After the old village chief left, Wang Zhenjiao and other staff, as well as the middle-aged man and others. There was a heated discussion about this matter. Let's analyze the current situation. Since Dilruba didn't lie, then she should be the one who was fascinated by the ghost. In addition, the first ghost, Old Lady Apiao, appeared at noon. So everyone finally came to the conclusion that the ghost Old Lady Apiao was causing trouble. She may have followed Dilruba for a long time. When passing this wedding stage, it was she who infected Dilruba's mind. As a result, what Dilruba sees is different from everyone else. A red matter has become a white matter. The wedding stage turned into a funeral shed. As for her doing this, everyone can't figure out why, and they don't want to waste any more brain cells. Anyway, that ghost Old Lady Apiao. The mysterious palm print that had already flown out of Dilruba's body suddenly exploded. That's what you said. The first evil ghost that appeared has been taken care of by you. So, our village may actually be safe, right? After listening to the analysis by Wang Zhenjiao and others, the middle-aged uncle asked. Well, roughly the same. Wang Zhenjiao said with some uncertainty. It sounds like this is indeed the case. But there are more than 20 little ghosts at the entrance of your village, carrying a big red sedan chair. You have forgotten this matter. In addition, no one knows what the mysterious unknown thing in Dilruba's body is. It is even less clear whether it is an enemy or a friend. But Wang Zhenjiao did not elaborate on these things. It's okay to forget, it's rare to be confused. Otherwise, he is afraid that the other person will be like himself. He will not dare to sleep alone tonight. He may even be unable to sleep. That's good, that's good. Don't tell me, I've never seen it before. What does the so-called evil ghost look like? Isn't it scary? The middle-aged man said casually. When someone showed him the hot searches on his mobile phone just now, he was watching the most recent live broadcast replay. After all, it is closely related to their village. He didn't do anything about it before. Look. Uncle Yongfu, I've seen it. Very scary, extremely scary. That evil old lady's head was like a pile of minced meat. Densely packed and horrific, it makes people panic just looking at it. You can still faintly see that there are maggots swarming down there, which is very disgusting and makes your scalp numb. And her black nails are so long. When they are opened, they look like iron claws. It feels like they can scratch a head in one go. Especially when she swallowed the little girl in one gulp at the end. Watching the replay scared me to death. Fortunately, that little 11, that is, this little girl. Very, very powerful. It's like filming a TV series. When you take photos with your palms, there are palm shadows. There is a lotus-shaped golden body protection on the body. He can also draw talismans and even summon heavenly soldiers and generals. If she hadn't just wanted to catch that ghost and send it to the factory to move bricks and drive screws, that evil ghost might have been exterminated long ago. A young man with yellow hair, who should be more courageous. Hearing that the middle-aged man had never seen the ghost, he explained excitedly, until everyone around him was speechless and collapsed. We don't want to hear this in the middle of the night. Otherwise, we wouldn't watch it ourselves. It's just because of fear. Even Wang Zhenjiao and others who have experienced all this, their faces are very ugly at this time. This pain they don't want to relieve the memories. Now they just want to finish eating quickly, remove the table, and then drive away. But the people in this village are obviously not willing to let them go. To be more precise, I am reluctant to let Zhou Xi go. There are ghosts in this world. And this cute little Lolita who looks harmless to humans and animals is an existence that can catch ghosts and destroy them. That is, in movies and TV series the ghost-catching Taoist priest in the movie may even be more powerful than the ordinary ghost-catching Taoist priests. She has been blown up in hot searches on the internet. She also said that despite her young age, she can bring a lot of safety to people. Feeling something. Because of this, the people in the village will grumble even if they have no appetite, and they will not finish eating. Can you stay a little longer? By the way, Uncle Yongfu, let me show you this clip. Xiao Xi looked so handsome when he summoned the heavenly soldiers and generals. The cruel old woman was tortured so miserably. The yellow-haired young man just now seemed a little unhappy after talking for a long time. He took out his mobile phone and prepared to play another segment for the middle-aged man named Yongfu. No, I'll look at it later. The middle-aged man was about to refuse when he opened his mouth. Others were also full of resentment. Did this guy do it on purpose? It was late at night and it was not over yet. Facts have proved that it is not over. Because the boy had already clicked on it. Scholars can be killed but not humiliated. Little bastard. You've gone too far. Even if the old woman dies, she will take you to be buried with her. The ghostly old woman's voice came from the yellow-haired young man's mobile phone. Brat, shut it up. I don't want to see this now, it's a bit scary. Wait, this voice. The middle-aged man named Yongfu originally wanted to grab the yellow boy's phone and turn off the video. But after hearing the voice of that evil old woman, he was stunned. In fact, it wasn't just him, there were several middle-aged men around him, all of whom had slightly changed expressions. There are only young people like Huang Mao Ziazi. Still looking confused, not knowing what happened. Give me your phone. the middle-aged man named Yongfu said in an unquestionable tone, which startled the yellow-haired boy. Seeing Uncle Yongfu, who was usually very talkative, suddenly so serious. He didn't dare to be disobedient and mess around anymore, so he obediently handed over the phone, and took the phone. A middle-aged man named Yongfu began to continuously pull the progress bar of the live broadcast replay. Looking back and forth, as if searching for something. Several other middle-aged men also plucked up the courage to join in. Finally, the picture on the phone is stuck on the ghost old lady Apiao. The moment when Zhou Shii took out the prototype and condensed it into reality. At that time, she had not yet transformed into a ghost. Can vaguely see what humans look like when they are young. Ah! Why is it her? Several middle-aged men looked frightened and disbelieving. Especially the middle-aged man named Yongfu, whose body was shaking like chaff and he couldn't even hold his cell phone. Snapped. The yellow-haired boy's cell phone fell to the ground. But no one picked it up. Including the yellow-haired boy himself, because he also felt something was wrong. Uncle Yongfu actually knows that ghostly old lady? Doesn't that mean she is from this village? Thinking of this possibility, everyone became quiet again. The surrounding temperature seemed to have dropped to freezing point. No one even dared to breathe. Including Yang Mi, Dilruba, as well as Wang Zhenjiao and other staff. They all felt something was wrong. They had also speculated before that the ghost old lady Apiao was the old man who died in this village. After all, it was here that Diliriba had an entanglement with her. It should be here that Diliriba was infected. The red event is regarded as a white matter, and the wedding stage is regarded as a funeral shed. But judging from the situation in front of them, the problem may be more complicated than they imagined. Isn't that ghostly old woman Apiao's status in this village unusual? Uncle Yongfu, this fierce ghost, this ghost, old Mrs. Piao, do you know her? Is she from Shilifen? The yellow-haired boy mustered up the courage and asked. The middle-aged man named Yongfu opened his mouth. But no sound came out. It was obvious. At this time, he was very frightened and nervous. He even couldn't say no. Something came out. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 75. Damn it. No way. Is the identity of that ghost old lady Apiao so scary? This old uncle named Yongfu was so frightened that he couldn't speak. Let me just say there is something wrong with this village. Rebo met a ghost here, and then everyone was inexplicably led here at night. There is definitely a big conspiracy. It's not even just a big conspiracy, it could be a big terror. Don't you feel that this wedding banquet went too smoothly? The calm before the storm. Is this someone holding back a big move? Damn it. Do it. I really don't have any pants to change. Watching the live broadcast alone at home is really scary. Upstairs, how can you be sure that you are really alone? Look next to you. Is there a blurry face looking at the phone next to you? Ah. Damn it, you must be sick. Don't be kidding, there really are ghosts in this world, okay. Is it possible that the ghost you talk about also knows how to use a mobile phone? I'm scaring you through the screen, but I'm actually a ghost? Well, ha ha ha. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Damn it, really dying. There was chaos in the live broadcast room, and all kinds of things were going on. But at the wedding banquet scene in Shilifen village, the atmosphere was quiet, low, and terrifyingly depressing. Everyone was quietly waiting for the uncle named Yongfu to reveal the identity of the evil old woman. She. Uncle Yongfu's throat rolled, and sweat had covered his entire face. She is the old village chief's wife. More than 10 years ago, on the way to the market, was run over by an out-of-control garbage truck. Died on the spot. I happened to be on the roadside at that time. That scene was so horrific that I never want to remember it again for the rest of my life. Unexpectedly, it was her. As if he had exhausted all his strength, Uncle Yongfu finally told the truth of the matter. This time, the entire Shilifan village has become quieter. Especially Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others couldn't help but think of the amiable old village chief just now. He also asked someone to give Zhou Shiai a plate of pork elbows. Did not expect. This ghostly old lady turned out to be his wife. Uncle, are you sure? You won't get the wrong person. That ghost, that old lady looks like. I'm afraid he's over 70 years old, about the same age as the current old village chief. 10 years ago, was she already this age when she died? Yang Mi only felt her heart pounding, like a drum. But she still suppressed her panic and opened her mouth to ask more questions. You can't go wrong. From the time I heard that familiar northeastern dialect, I basically guessed who she was. Because when she was a child, she once called me, little bastard. As for her age, she is the child bride of the old village chief's family. She is already more than 10 years older than him. When he died, he was already 73 years old. Uncle Yongfu seemed to be lost in memories. His face was extremely painful. But she is what a very good person. Cheerful personality and enthusiastic towards people. Whose family has any big or small affairs. She will go up and help. Why is this happening? Uncle Yongfu murmured to himself. It was obvious that he could not accept this result. Those peers behind him who were in their 40s and 50s were also about the same age. But the facts were before us. The identity of the ghost of Piao old lady was basically it's certain. The age is right. The northeastern dialect is right. Including the cause of death, it's all right. It's no wonder that when she turned into a ghost, she turned out to be a dense pile of minced meat. How could she die tragically under a garbage truck? Preserve the body. Suddenly, the atmosphere changed from depressive to desolate. No one spoke. Zhou Shiai also put down her big elbow, which was very rare. So, the old village chief said more than once before that his wife came to him and said she wanted to take him away. It's actually true. The young man with dyed yellow hair suddenly thought of this matter and asked with a bitter look on his face. I'm afraid, it's true. By the way, this matter will be kept strictly confidential. No one is allowed to tell the old village chief, let alone show him this video. He doesn't know how to surf the internet himself, so he should be fine. Uncle Yongfu stood up and warned everyone. The other villagers naturally had no objections and all nodded. After all, the old village chief is so old. If he knew that his wife had turned into a ghost, I am afraid that he would definitely accept it for a while. It won't work. It's better not to attack him. Just keep the secret. Wait a moment. Uncles, I have a question. Zhou Shiai suddenly raised her little hand, like a good student, and asked a question. Her hands and mouth were all shiny. It looked a little funny. Yang Mi was speechless and took out the wet wipes to help her quickly. Wiped it? What is the problem? Uncle Yongfu said doubtfully. Thank you, Mom. After Yang Mi finished wiping, Zhou Shiai thanked her obediently, then stretched out her little hand and pointed to the crowd. That old lady you're talking about. Does it look like this? Following the direction of Zhou Shiai's finger, everyone turned around. Then, one by one, they seemed to be struck by lightning. They were frozen in place. I saw at the very back of the crowd. I don't know when, unexpectedly, there is one more person. An old lady with silver hair, wrinkles on her face, and a stooped figure. She is sitting at the edge of the dining table. She is grinning, showing her toothless mouth. She is smiling at everyone. Her smile looked very kind and friendly. If she were to be seen smiling by such an old man, many people would feel it, and it was very warm. But now, everyone has only one feeling. Horror. Horror. Because this old lady, they had just seen it in the live broadcast replay. It was exactly what Uncle Yongfu said. She was run over by a garbage truck and turned into a ghost after death, the old village chief's wife. Damn it! It scared me to death, my little heart almost broke to pieces. Why is she still there? My head is buzzing. I feel like my brain is going to explode. Ah, my pants. Riding on a horse, this is today's fifth item, and there's still more to come. Who can tell me what's going on with this horse riding? Why is she alive again? No, she was originally dead, but wasn't she already destroyed by the unknown in Reba's body? Just a second ago, I was so amused by the little hands and mouth coaxed by Xiao Xi. The next second, I almost fell off when I stepped on the horse. Destroy it? Really, this time I not only peed while riding a horse, but also peed in my pants pocket. The most important thing is that my new girlfriend is still with me, and she is not afraid at all. Upstairs. While mourning for you, I want to remind you your girlfriend is not afraid. Is it possible that she is the same kind? Ah! Damn it, you stepped on the horse and scared me to death again. And I was standing, right in front of my girlfriend. This wave of live broadcast room viewers across the screen. How many people were scared to death, there is no way to verify. But judging from the barrage comment area, at least tens of thousands, or even more. The appearance of the old village chief's wife. Yes. Everyone's shock was really great. This was the first time everyone had seen a ghost. Everyone watched helplessly as she was manipulated by Zhou Xi step by step. Finally, she was manipulated by the unknown person in Dilaraba's car. Wiped out with one slap. So, even if you see other ghosts, no one will be so scared. After all, there is Zhou Xi, the little backbone. But it is she, who reappears in front of everyone in the most complete posture. In front of him. Everyone's originally fragile outlook has completely turned into scum this time. This ghost. Is it so difficult to kill? If it is broken into slag and still doesn't die, isn't it invincible? Life and village, wedding banquet above. Ah, why is this happening? What's going on? Ah, why is she still here? Is this the old village chief's wife? Isn't she dead? That's her. But, ghost. Everyone who had just been shocked and dumbfounded, and their minds were blank. At this moment, they finally reacted. Without saying a word, they ran away one by one. They stumbled and knocked down tables and stools. There was a sound of broken plates, bowls, and chopsticks. Endlessly. Some people even fainted from fright on the spot. When they just watched the replay on their mobile phones, they had reached their psychological limit. Now, they are watching a ghost appear in front of them alive. How can they do it? You can bear it? Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others were also scared to death. Wang Zhenjiao was very calm this time. He kept sitting there, motionless. But only he knew, he didn't want to move. He couldn't stand up at all. In addition, he clearly felt that there was another wave of warmth surging in his crotch. Needless to say, I stepped on a horse and peed my pants again. This is the fourth time since this afternoon. Xiao Xi, isn't she already dead? No, isn't she already out of her mind? Dilruba squatted on the ground, holding Zhou Xi's little arm tightly, like a child seeking asylum. But, the height and shape of the two people were obviously reversed. An adult was shivering, seeking the child's shelter. It looks a bit funny and ridiculous. Of course, no one can laugh now. Yes, baby. What the hell is going on? We were clearly looking at her. The huge palm print flying out of Reba's body was crushed. Relatively speaking, Yang Mi was doing a little better. Although her face was as golden as paper and she was sweating profusely, at least she was still standing on the same spot and didn't run away. It's not that she didn't want to run away. But after many experiences, she has figured out one thing. No matter where she runs, it is not safe. Only with her baby daughter, can she feel completely safe. Mom, Aunt Reba, don't be afraid. There is a baby here. After eating and drinking enough, baby, I am just thinking about where to find a ghost to catch. Unexpectedly, this old lady delivered it to my door. Joshi first patted Diliriba and Yang Mi and said a few words of comfort. Then she looked at the old village chief's wife, with uncontrollable excitement and joy in her expression. Everyone saw this scene. It's an unreal feeling. How can this little ancestor be so happy and excited? He's being haunted now, okay. And it's haunted by a mysterious ghost who has come back from the dead. He. Little calf stuff. He is not old, but his tone is not young. Old woman, I'm just sitting here, come and catch me. The old village chief's wife opposite spoke. The familiar northeastern accent, the familiar smell of dirt, made everyone more convinced that she was the original ghost Apiao. But everyone didn't understand it. Even that ghost Apiao came back to life, and became a ghost again. She shouldn't be so presumptuous. It's not like she has never seen Joshi's abilities before. In the evening, he pressed her to the ground and rubbed her. If not little 11, all she wanted in her heart was to catch her and move bricks and screws. She couldn't survive around in his hands. Besides, there was also the unknown inside Diliriba. Late in the evening at any time, she can easily crush her. Her strength should not be underestimated, okay. Who gave her the courage? Liang Jingruo? No, I'm afraid she doesn't even know Liang Jingruo. Okay. Baby, I'll go there now. Grandma, sit there and don't run away. Facing the provocation of the old village chief's wife, Joshi was neither angry nor angry. She was still very polite, like a good student. Then, she actually just walked towards the old village chief's wife with small steps. Baby. Little 11. Yang Mi stretched out her hand to stop Joshi. But I don't know how to stop it. At the same time, in my heart, I continued to scold that stinky man over and over again. Why don't you teach yourself? Otherwise, there is no need to put her daughter in danger every time. And I could only watch helplessly, but there was nothing I could do. Dilruba's thoughts are similar. Although Joshi is not his daughter. But I have watched him grow up since he was a child. Never would he have thought that one day, he would ask her to protect him. This feeling is really uncomfortable. Mom, Aunt Reba. Don't worry. Although this old lady has practiced the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse, she is more powerful than the old lady with a broken soul before. But he is definitely not my opponent. Baby, after eating enough, I feel great. Joshi finished speaking with a little arrogance, turned around and continued to move forward with small steps. And Joshi's words. Everyone suddenly seemed to understand something. The expression of the old village chief's wife also changed slightly. The smile on my face is no longer. Little things. How come you even know the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse? What are your origins? While speaking, the old village chief's wife had already stood up with a solemn look on her face. The so-called the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse. Isn't it just that the 3 souls and 7 souls after death are divided and divided again? The separated remnant soul is the appearance of the old ghost Apiao, only the yin spirit body. You can also treat it as your clone. But you are the corpse itself, the main seat of the 3 souls and 7 souls. Right. Hum, I know a lot about this baby. Zhou Xiai's small steps did not stop. Her delicate little face was still arrogant. When she said this, everyone understood what was going on. The ghost that was killed before was the old lady Apiao. It turned out to be just a soul clone. The one in front of me is the real body. Hee. You little thing, you really know a lot. But have you ever thought about it? I obviously know you are very powerful. Why do you dare to lead you here? After the old village chief's wife finished speaking, she suddenly burst out laughing. She was laughing so hard that the sky was dark, the wind was blowing, and the fallen leaves were flying. She was laughing so hard that her whole body exploded with a bang. Long. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 76. Damn it. It scared me to death. This old woman's smile was so scary. Although it was clearly across the screen, this sinister laughter seemed to be right next to my ears. I also have this feeling. This thing won't crawl along the network cable, right? No, I have to turn off the computer and switch to my mobile phone to use Wi-Fi. You are such a clever little guy upstairs. If the ghost APIO can really crawl along the network cable, your router will not be connected to the network cable. Stop arguing and watch the live broadcast. Wait, damn it, why was she laughing so hard that she exploded with laughter? Horse riding. My heart stopped. What the hell is this? Why does she look like dirt, scattered all over the floor? Have you forgotten that Uncle Yangfu just said how she died? Was run over by an out-of-control garbage truck. Ah, shut up, I have a picture of me riding a horse. Because the old village chief's wife, smiling and laughing, suddenly exploded and turned into a pile of debris scattered on the ground. The more than 10 million viewers in the live broadcast room also had their mentality exploded with her. Although everyone knew that she was not a human at all. But you smiled and burst into pieces. Who can bear it? The people at the scene, not to mention, the moment the old village chief's wife exploded. I don't know how many people covered their heads and screamed. I don't know how many people were scared to death. It's not an adjective, they were pissed off. But they didn't dare to run around or even go home. Who knows where the old village chief's wife will appear after she explodes. This is close to the stage, and the lights are the brightest. And everyone knows that Zhou Xiai can catch ghosts. In comparison, the whole village, this is the safest place. What if you go home and find the old village chief's wife standing in the yard, smiling pitifully at you with a 140 smile? Then she will break into pieces in front of you. Scum, wrapping you up, that scene is really sour and refreshing. These are all things the villagers can think of. Yang Mi, Dili Riba, Wang Zhenjiao, and others naturally knew it very well. After all, it's not the first time, so I have experience. So they just hid in the open space at the edge of the stage and did not run around. However, for some reasons, Wang Zhenjiao and everyone were hiding a bit far away. Try to keep your lower body in darkness as much as possible. But even so, a female staff member sniffed her nose and found something was wrong. What is the taste? Ah, director, your pants are wet again. This is the fourth one. Have you changed your pants yet? The female staff member asked with concern. Shut up. I accidentally spilled it when I was drinking water. Wang Zhenjiao growled with gritted teeth. When this female staff member came to the crew for an interview, Wang Zhenjiao liked her because she was honest, and she was also careful in her work. He deliberately kept her here and asked her to follow him. Who would have thought that? These advantages will one day become a knife that stabs me in the back. I'm a fool, I just want to pee my pants quietly. Can't we do it quietly? Why do you shout it out for me every time? You even rode a horse to help me count. Hoo hoo, hoo hoo. After the old village chief's wife exploded into pieces on the ground. Throughout Sci-fi village, strong winds were raging. The night sky that was originally bright suddenly turned pitch black, as if something was wrapping it up here. And as the wind became more and more violent, those mobile dining tables and chairs were blown up, tables, tablecloths, dishes, napkins, etc. were flying everywhere. Even Wang Zhenjiao and the others avoided the steel frame stage. They all started to swing from side to side and were about to fall apart. Crackling. Wires broke in many places and flames flew everywhere. One of the laser light balls hit directly not far behind Wang Zhenjiao. Everyone was shocked. The originally brightly lit village dimmed in the blink of an eye. Now only a row of street lights on the main road is left, which is still struggling to support, and if the situation continues like this, I'm afraid it won't be able to support it for long. Ah, there is really a ghost. Damn it, don't shout in my ear, it shocks me to death. We all know there is a ghost, okay. I want to go home. No, I don't dare to go home, and my legs are weak. Who is peeing his pants while riding a horse? The wind blew it into my face. Whose hand is this? You are afraid of riding a horse, so don't pinch my neck, okay. I stepped on the horse and was strangled to death by you. All kinds of ghosts crying, wolf howling, and squeaking sounds came from the raging wind. The villagers in Sci-fi village were in complete chaos. I don't know how many people were scared to the point of urinating, and how many were scared to death. After all, it was their first time to experience this kind of battle. Wang Zhenjiao and the staff were a little better. It was a rough day, and they had to change several pairs of pants, so they experienced a lot of storms. Naturally, their resistance was also they have become stronger, especially Yang Mi and Dili Reba. The two hugged each other tightly and hid in a corner. Although they both looked frightened, they did not yell. They just tried to open their eyes, staring in the direction of Zhou Xi. There. It is their concern. It is also the source of their sense of security. At least along the way, Zhou Xi has not let them down yet. They believe that Zhou Xi can solve all this perfectly. It's just. When their eyes widened. After seeing Zhou Xi's every move, they almost burst into tears. At this time, they saw Zhou Xi holding a big elbow in her hand. She was furious, and she was squealing in the air, asking angrily, "If we fight, we fight. Why are you doing this so foolishly?" My big elbow almost fell to the ground. Zhou Xi's words were very loud. No one knows whether the old village chief's wife heard it. But everyone present, including the audience in the live broadcast room, heard it. That short-haired female photographer, even now, still working very hard on filming and live streaming. And she found a very clever location, with a wide view and very safe. Sure enough, professional is professional. I'm really convinced. I'm convinced with all my heart. I'm convinced with all my heart. Xiao Xi, what are you doing? How long has it been since then, and you still care about your big elbow? Should I say that she is too confident, or should I say that her foodie attributes are a bit too much? A 5-year-old girl has too many responsibilities on her shoulders that are beyond her age, so just eat. That's right. Not only does it not belong to her age, it doesn't belong to ordinary humans, right? The viewers in the live broadcast room were very tolerant when they saw Zhou Xi holding a big elbow in her hand. But the crowd at the scene. But I don't have such a good attitude. Wrong. What kind of mentality do they have? My mentality has long since collapsed. It collapsed to pieces. Zhou Xi is a talisman in their eyes. It is the hope of survival. It is the light of the future. But now, this ray of hope. What I have in mind is the big elbow. Who can bear it? For a moment, everyone was on the verge of crying. Don't know what to do. At this moment, the angry little lowly Joshi finally made a move. I don't know if it's because of the big elbow in my hand, or something else. This time, it wasn't Joshi's hand that moved, but her little red mouth. Don't listen to the sound of beating leaves in the forest, why not scream and walk slowly? That's right. Joshi actually came to recite a poem. Sushi's Ding Feng Bo. After hearing the amulet, the little Lolita was still in the mood to recite poems. The originally fragmented mentality of the people around them was regrouped, and it collapsed once. What the hell? How long has it been, and she is still reciting poems? Do you think this is a kindergarten? This child will not be so naive as to think that the name of this poem is Ding Feng Bo. It is really the storm can be settled. It's over. It's over. It's completely over. Many people even began to regret why they didn't leave the village early. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trapped in this fatal storm. But soon, everyone discovered that something was wrong. The raging wind around them weakened, and became weaker and weaker. The originally dark sky gradually became brighter. But the color was not right. It seemed like golden yellow. Raised his eyes to the middle, where Joshi was. Everyone was dumbfounded and stood on the spot. In front of Joshi's small body, they saw ancient Chinese characters shining with golden light one by one. It was as if they had wings. Yes, they are flying around her. It can still be vaguely seen that those ancient characters are the first two sentences of the song Ding Feng Bo that Joshi just recited. Bamboo sticks and mango shoes are easier than horses, who is afraid? You can live your whole life in mist and rain. Joshi's poetry recitation has begun again. This time, everyone can see it clearly. As Joshi opens her mouth and recites the bites one by one, there will be a correspondence in her small mouth. The ancient Chinese characters fly out and float into the air. And they will become bigger and bigger, more and more solid. Just like the lotus flower with a shining tongue in the fairy tale. And as these two lines of poetry are recited, there were more and more golden ancient characters in the sky. The wanton wind completely disappeared, leaving only a mess. Everyone at the scene was dumbfounded. The audience in the live broadcast room were also in a mess. I just said that Joshi is unreliable. She actually has the mind to take care of the big elbow. Now I feel like my face was slapped and sore. Is this unreliable? This person is so reliable. I know I can handle it all, and I don't even have to use my hands. Only then did he have time to protect that big elbow. For a foodie, is it wrong to protect food? Obviously, there is nothing wrong with it at all. Kyoto, unknown nursing home for the elderly, indoor activity center. The old men and women sitting on the small benches stood up again. One by one, they had strange expressions on their faces, their eyes shrank, and even their expressions were a little ferocious. Lotus tongue. The legendary lotus tongue shines. Am I really not dreaming when I ride on a horse? This little guy can even speak like a lotus flower? There is no one in the whole of China who knows the secret skill. It's not just as simple as a lotus tongue. Didn't you realize that the energy she used this time was the Confucian aura of righteousness? Real or fake? Confucian's Heiran Genkigong. That is a technique that must never be passed on to others, and even within my own family, it is only passed down to men and not to women. I once visited the Confucius mansion and I can't go wrong. Only the awe-inspiring righteousness of Confucianism can inspire the Taoist charm of ancient characters. It forms its own system of exercises. Nonsense. What a nonsense. The journey of cultivation depends on essence and not too much. Why is this little girl such a hodgepodge, practicing all kinds of skills? Yes. What a good seedling, it will be ruined if it continues like this. Haha, you two old guys are really too lazy to worry about it. Who can see the destruction of this little girl? He is only 5 years old, heavenly master in the realm where the golden light curse is perfected, all the talisman and curse techniques are mastered. There are 24 levels of Buddhism's lotus platform, and the Confucian awe-inspiring righteousness can already inspire the Taoist charm of ancient Chinese characters. Are you telling me this is a hodgepodge? It's obviously a boutique store, right? Yes. This little ancestor, how did she practice? This is incredible. Ordinary people, even if they started practicing in the womb, if one of them can cultivate to such a state, they are already extraordinary geniuses. This little girl is actually proficient in so many kinds of things. Crazy, old man, I feel like I'm going crazy too. Now I am becoming more and more curious about this little girl's mysterious father. Who is he? How come he knows so many sex techniques, and many of them are lost secret techniques? What a good use of it. That guy can raise such a daughter. In the eyes of the old man, he is definitely a god. Find him, must find him. I feel that as long as we can find that guy, no matter whether there is a family behind him or not, this time the Dachuanman opens, we in China will be stable. It's been an afternoon and you still haven't found his true identity. A lot of old men and women were so excited that they couldn't help themselves. From the outside, it sounded like a quarrel, not too lively. This time, even the old man surnamed Kong, who was the most calm leader as a leader, was full of excitement at this moment. His face also showed a look of horror. Although he is not from the Confucian sage Confucius family, he has the same surname and the same clan after all. Therefore, he has a very good relationship with people from the Confucian family. The current head of the Kong family has been with him since he was young. We became good friends. We still keep in touch with each other often. Because of this, he deeply understood how difficult it is to practice Heiran Genkigong. The conditions are so harsh that they can be called hell level. Far superior to other methods. I won't talk about acquired efforts and opportunities. Just talk about innate conditions. If you want to practice Heiran Genkigong, talent and basic skills are the same. Talent determines the practitioner's understanding. Whether you are studying comprehension and the understanding of cultivation are closely related. The root and bone determine the future attainments and strength of the cultivator. The stronger the root and bone, the more awe-inspiring righteousness it inherits. Only the combat power and realm can be stable. Improvement. Do you think this is the end? No. And the most important thing is, if you want to practice Heiran Genkigong, you must get the blessing of a saint. Because Heiran Genki is a saint, it is the result of seizing the creation of heaven and earth and realizing the rhythm of heaven and earth. Even if you are an ordinary scholar, you will be exhausted. Read all the books in the world 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Even if it is impossible to become a practitioner even if you memorize it backwards. Because you cannot feel the rhythm of the Tao between heaven and earth. You are full of economics, but they are just ordinary words. Only in the secret realm of Confucius, and with the blessing of Saint Kong, can you explore the world Tao Yun, and thus embarked on the road of practice. So, the old man surnamed Kong didn't understand it very much. This little kid named Zhou Xi can practice Tian Shifu exercises, Buddhist exercises, and so on. How does he practice Confucianism? The secret art of the saints of the Dao Kong family, Heiran Genkigong? Her mysterious father. No matter how powerful and awesome he is, it is impossible to get the blessings of the saints for his daughter. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 77. Shilifan Village, the scene of the wedding banquet. After the raging wind, the place was in a mess and miserable. The only piece of pure land was the area protected by Zhou Xi. One by one, the large golden ancient characters were still spinning in mid-air. It looks very powerful and domineering. But if you look down, it's a little less domineering. Zhou Shiai's little hand was still holding the big elbow. I'm afraid it will fall to the ground or something and waste food. This makes everyone really uncomfortable. Little ancestor, why don't you tell me if you want to eat elbow? Can I get a car for you tomorrow? Now that the ghost Apiao is here, we don't have to worry about this one. Little calf. What kind of magic is this? How could just a few words have such power? The wife of the old village chief, the northeast dialect of Dazaizu, rang out. I saw a piece of broken sand, gushing up like spring water on the ground. In the blink of an eye, it turned into the appearance of the old village chief's wife with silver hair and a stooped figure. A sinister bird of prey. His eyes were fixed on Zhou Shiai, who was not far away. Snored. I won't tell you. You are not a good ghost. He actually disturbed the baby from eating the big banquet. I almost blew my baby's big elbow to the ground. Dad said, wasting food is a very shameful behavior. Zhou Shiai said angrily, not forgetting to bite a big elbow. Everyone can no longer describe their mood at this moment in words. Although they know that this is just a 5-year-old little girl. But you are facing a ghost Apiao, you are too calm. And a little cute. I dare you not to like this ghost Apiao. Is it because she delays your feast and wastes food? Your father's education is right. It's just that in this occasion always feels weird. What a mess. Little calf, where are you from? The heavy northeast dialect sounded again, but this time, it came from behind Zhou Shiai. After the ground there surged for a while, it turned into the appearance of the old village chief's wife. No matter what her origins are. 22 If our plan is ruined, we all deserve to die. The third voice came. It was on Zhou Shiai's left. That's right. She must be killed. Our old sister died so miserably. It's because of this little brat. This time, it's the right side. Although the dead one is the worst. But after all, they are also our old sisters. This time, it was the upper left corner. Then the upper right corner, the lower left corner, and the lower right corner. In no time, 8 identical old village chief wives completely surrounded Zhou Shiai. Both the people at the scene and the live broadcast room online audience. Seeing this scene, they were all dumbfounded. One person died before, and another one appeared, which is already very outrageous. How come there are 8 more people appearing? And listen to what they mean. It seemed like it before that one is actually the weakest among them. Doesn't that mean, each of these 8 ghosts, Piao, is stronger than the one who died before? If they attack at the same time. Super, double. I can't help but, everyone began to worry about Zhou Shiai. After all, there were ghosts everywhere, and they looked very scary. 8 evil ghosts. Great, really great. I didn't expect that your art of nourishing souls with corpses would become so good in your practice. Baby me. I was originally thinking that it would be great if I could catch a fierce ghost. I didn't expect it to be 8 evil ghosts. It's really not exciting. Evil ghosts work better than evil ghosts. If we arrest you all and send you to move bricks and screws, I will definitely be able to make a lot of money and buy a lot of dolls. Zhou Shiai looked around and nodded with satisfaction. It was as if these 8 evil ghosts were already in her possession. This situation made everyone scratch their heads. Although newborn calves are not afraid of tigers, little ancestor, we can't be so aggressive. How long has it been? You actually still think about catching ghosts, moving bricks and screws, and then buying dolls? This obsession cannot be let go. And, people, there are 8 evil ghosts. You said it yourself, evil ghosts are more powerful than serious ghosts. There are 8 of them. Do you think they are Hello Kitty? Little calf. You are indeed still so presumptuous. Do we really think that we are soft persimmons and can be manipulated by others? Wait for us old sisters to arrest you. Peeling the skin and cramping, knocking the bones and sucking the marrow. The 8 Ghostopiao old ladies roared in unison. The next moment, the 8 figures rose directly from the ground and flew into the air. Just as they flew, their figures collapsed. In the end, they all turned into one by one small black particles, like 8 black flying clouds, soaring straight into the sky. Snap, 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 snap. Hanging in mid-air, the ancient characters were already gradually dimming. Under the impact of the black clouds transformed by these 8 ghosts, Apiao, it was completely shattered. It turned into little bits of golden light and dissipated in mid-air. In an instant, the world was shrouded in haze again, and the sky was as dark as ink, without any light. Ha ha, ha ha. The fierce wind raged again. More than several times stronger than before. Even tornadoes formed one after another. But this time, although the strong wind was raging, its scope was reduced. Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others on the side were not affected. Because of all the storms, there is only one target. Joshi. This made all the villagers in Shilifan village breathe a sigh of relief. They couldn't bear the strong wind just now. Now this more powerful tornado. I'm afraid it can blow them directly into the sky. Yang Mi and Diliriba were not happy about this. Both of their beautiful faces were filled with worry and worry. Even if Joshi has already seen her take action. But as an ordinary person, they had no clear understanding of Joshi and Goiapiao's combat power. And this time, the momentum created by the 8 evil ghosts really shouldn't be too great. In front of those tornadoes, Joshi's little figure looked really thin. This made them extremely worried, and they were all worried about Joshi. It was at this time. Something more dangerous is coming. Buzz, buzz. A trembling sound suddenly came from between heaven and earth. Everyone's eardrums can't bear it. The 8 tornadoes have completely taken shape. It connects the sky and the earth, as if a punishment from heaven is coming. Wherever it passes, let alone those dining tables and chairs. Even the ground was scraped up, a thick layer. As he watched, 8 tornadoes surrounded the little Joshi and kept approaching. Everyone held their breath and even stopped their heartbeat. Such a petite figure, in front of such a large formation, I'm afraid it can be torn into pieces. Oops. You guys are doing this again. What I hate most is your windy weather. You won't stop until my elbows are blown to the ground, right? Joshi's extremely angry voice came. Everyone collapsed, as if the Tianling cap had been overturned. Little ancestor, what time has it been? Why are you still worried about your elbow? Let's keep playing with the weather forecast, right? Okay, then baby, I will accompany you to have fun. Joshi seems to be really angry this time. No matter what the situation was before, she was neither hasty nor slow, nor cold, nor indifferent, like a little adult who has seen through the world. Only this time, there was something in her tone, a little angry. But, this anger seems to be because of the big elbow in his hand. It makes everyone feel unreal. Northern scenery, thousands of miles of ice, thousands of miles of snow drifting. Looking inside and outside the Great Wall, there is nothing but vastness. The river up and down suddenly stops flowing. Same as before, Joshi still did not choose to use her hands, but only moved her mouth. So as soon as she opened her mouth, everyone guessed it. Charming Lotus Cup Children's Poetry Recitation Conference, this is the beginning again. What was different from just now was, this time, the ancient Chinese characters that came out of Joshi's mouth. It didn't fly into the air. Instead, it exploded directly in front of Joshi. This made everyone feel cold in their hearts. It's over. This little ancestor is so careless. The tornado is raging outside, and your golden ancient characters simply cannot bear it. As soon as it appeared, it was overwhelmed by the strong wind pressure. But no one saw it. The golden ancient characters that exploded are different from those that were scattered by the explosion before. Those before turned directly into golden light spots and dissipated in the sky and earth. But this time, the golden ancient characters, the golden light transformed after the explosion, did not dissipate. Instead of dissipating, they slowly condensed together. It turned into a series of extremely mysterious lines, blending into the world. What flew into my face? Why is it so cold? Damn it, no one was scared to death again. Brother, it won't happen this time. Wait, it's not urine. Damn, why is it snowing? Stop making trouble. It's late summer and early autumn, a hot season, and it's snowing like crazy. Damn it, is it really snowing? This can't be the snow that the little girl made. What she just read was Kainyuan Chun Shuet. But it doesn't mean that it will really snow after just saying a few words. It's so outrageous, it seems even more outrageous than the Ding Feng Bo just now. The villagers not far away were stunned by the scene in front of them. Yang Mi and Dili Riba, as well as Wang Zhenjiao and other staff. At this moment, his face was full of horror, and he looked up in the air. It was snowing. And it was still snowing heavily. The falling snowflakes are pouring down from the sky as if they are free of charge. People can't help but think of the poem Zhou Shi I recited just now. The scenery of the north is covered in ice and snow. In the previous Ding Feng Bo, Zhou Shi's tongue was eloquent, and every word seemed to be a rune. Really stopping the raging wind was beyond their ability to understand. This time, the horror in their hearts soared to the sky. Reciting poetry can change the weather and make it snow. The legendary words follow the law. Don't be too outrageous. Wait a moment. Why don't those tornadoes move? Oh my God. Frozen. What the hell, how could a tornado freeze? You really do what you say when you step on the horse. This little girl can't be a fairy descending to earth. I know, those 8 tornadoes are not pure wind. It was the energy that Guia Piao integrated into it, that's why it was frozen. A few more surprised sounds came from the villagers. Yang Mi and others followed the sound, and saw a scene that they would never forget in this life. The tornadoes that followed the sky and hit the ground with great momentum. They were actually hit by frozen. It's like huge ice sculptures hovering in mid-air. You can even see the trajectory of their rotation before they were frozen. This picture is really shocking. Even the largest ice sculpture in the world cannot create such a spectacular view. Looking up from below, the 8 frozen tornadoes are like 8 Optimus pillars. It makes people unable to see even if they look up. Where is the top? It is in the middle of these 8 Optimus pillars. Zhou Shi, holding a big elbow in her hand, is a little out of place. Click. 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 Before he had time to think about it, the sound of the ice breaking was heard. It's the 8 Optimus pillars, or the 883 ghosts in the 8 Optimus pillars. Impacting with full force, the ice outside. I want to break through the ice. Zhou Shi's anger has obviously not subsided. How could they be let out? So, Zhou Shi's poetry recitation began again. However, this time it seems that it shouldn't be called Charming Lotus Cup. Instead, it should be renamed, Say the Law with the Cup. The silver snake dances in the mountains, and the original wax figure wants to compete with God. It's a sunny day, and it's especially charming to see the red dress. There are so many beauties in the country that it attracts countless heroes to bow down. Same as before. Every ancient Chinese character that came out of Zhou Shi's mouth would explode directly in front of her. It would turn into golden light points, forming strange symbolic patterns that merged into the world. In an instant. The snowflakes flying in the sky seemed to be summoned and controlled by some force. They turned into silver snakes, dancing wildly in the air. Finally, they wrapped around the 8 Optimus pillars, making them even more frozen. Transformed into giant elephants one by one, neighing and stacked at the roots of the 8 Optimus pillars, making their foundations stronger. As expected. Under the blessing of the silver snake giant elephant, the 8 ghosts of Piao were completely sealed. Among them, there is no sign of breaking the ice. The people below were dumbfounded for the first time. There are even some villagers from Sci-fi village. With a bang, he fell to his knees, kowtowed and worshipped. Immortal. This little girl must be the legendary fairy. Only gods can call the wind and rain, let snow fall in September, and even freeze tornadoes. That's right. Since there are monsters and monsters, there must be gods. This little girl is a fairy sent from heaven to help us slay demons. I never thought that I would see the scenes in TV movies in reality. Someone took the lead, and the scene got even more out of hand. Hi-hoo-la-la, a large number of villagers in Shilifan village knelt down again. This battle. Yang Mi and Diliriba were both stunned. Xiao Shi turned out to be the god they call him. Really, don't be too outrageous. But think about it carefully. The method Zhou Shi I just showed is known as a cultivator, a stranger, a superpower, etc. But for ordinary people, it is just the magic of gods. It would have been fine before. The concept of belief in science is deeply rooted in people's hearts and is deeply ingrained. Especially for the younger generation, it is difficult to believe that there are any gods in this world. But now, this world has been broken and reorganized, and new rules have been formulated. Since everyone believes that there are ghosts in this world, they will naturally believe that there are gods in this world. It's just a coincidence. Zhou Shi, this he is only 5 years old. Sometimes he is cute, and sometimes he is quirky. He is also holding a cute baby with a big elbow in his hand. He has become the first person who everyone worships and recites the name of the immortal. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 78. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I just blame myself for being uneducated. I can take the world by saying F***ck. But now, I want to use 3 words to express my admiration and admiration for Xiao Shi. 3 fucks are not enough. 1,000 fucks and 10,000 fucks are not enough to describe my shocking mood at this moment. Xiao Shi is really awesome. The legendary words are spoken with ease. This horse riding ability is the ability I most want to have. Can I say that this was a murder caused by an elbow? It was the first time I saw Xiao 11 angry, even though it was just a little bit. That's right, haha, our little 11 is indeed a foodie. In anger, I am frozen for thousands of miles. Who dares to touch my big elbow? Frozen for thousands of miles is a bit exaggerated. But I really didn't expect it to be able to freeze a tornado. The wind is not pure wind, and the snow is not pure snow. This is a battle of combat power and magic between Xiao 11 and the 8 evil ghosts. To be honest, I feel that this scene is even more shocking than frozen miles. That's right, the 8 Optimus pillars really look a bit like something that only appeared in myths and legends, as well as the scene of the silver snake dancing wildly and the giant elephant collapsing. To be honest, I almost want to kneel down now. Isn't Xiao Shi really the goddess from the 9 heavens descending to earth? So fierce. I'm already kneeling. When she said her words and let heavy snow fall in the sky, she knelt down uncontrollably. Tisk, you must have knelt down earlier than me. I took my grandpa to watch the live broadcast. He even knelt down. Do you think I dare to sit down? The number of online viewers in the live broadcast room has once again reached a new high. Reached more than 18 million people. This is definitely an unprecedented number in the history of live variety shows. After all, in today's era, there are so many things for entertainment. Novels, movies, TV, douyin, sharks, comics, bathing, clubs, etc. Even watching variety shows. In the past, there were many choices. And you can also watch replays. Therefore, the number of real-time online viewers is not too exaggerated. But today is different. The entire network is contracted by this program team and Yang Mi's family. It is no exaggeration to say that if you want to watch the live broadcast today, this is the only option. Even if you don't want to choose, someone will help you choose. Guests from other live variety shows are all looking down at the live broadcast here. Just ask if you want to watch it. And this has just reached the prime time period, the number of online viewers is still skyrocketing crazily. China, Dongshan Province, Khufu, Kong family. A group of Kong clan members who are well dressed, elegant in temperament, and smell of books. An emergency meeting is being held at this time. I just suddenly learned that there is a 5-year-old little girl who has cultivated the Confucian aura of righteousness. Moreover, the technique he practiced may be the secret technique of the saint Heiran Genkigong from the Kong family. Confused them all. People who don't know the outside world will see Heiran's righteousness. You may think of Heiran Genkigong or the Confucian and Mencius families. But actually, among the many Confucian clans, the differences are quite big. Ruana, the little girl, is just okay if Heiran is upright. Other Confucian clans also have methods of cultivation. And the boundaries are not that clear. But the Kong family, as the orthodox leaders of Confucianism and Taoism, they have always adhered to ancient precepts and have many rules. Even members of this family may not be blessed by saints. Obtain the qualification to practice Heiran Genkigong. Not to mention a foreigner, a 5-year-old girl. Have you contacted the Kong family over there at Wanwan? Does this little girl's matter have anything to do with them? Sitting at the top, an old man who was over 60 years old asked a young man beside him. Although the Kong family is the leader of Confucianism and Taoism, in fact, their current status is very embarrassing, because due to some reasons in the past few years, the direct descendants of the Kong family ran to Wanwan and spread their branches. The remaining collateral branches. Although they occupied the ancestral land of the Kong family, there were always people who criticized for their bloodline. Because of this, the Kong family has been in disarray for many years. Until recently, it was relatively better. Contacted. They said that as a direct lineage, there is absolutely no way they would break the rules. He even asked us if we were shouting "Catch the thief!" The young man's eyebrows were a little sulky, he bowed his hands and responded. But at this moment, Grandpa, Grandpa, and uncles, hurry up and watch that variety show live. That little 5-year-old girl. A young man of 14 or 15 years old ran in with a tablet. Nonsense. We are descendants of the Kong family, from a scholarly family, with orthodox Confucianism and Taoism. How unbecoming it is for you to carry such a crude thing and make a loud noise when you enter your ancestral home. Before the young man finished speaking, he was interrupted by a middle-aged man wearing a long gown. The Kong family has very strict rules and traditional family traditions. It has always been believed that books and words are the spiritual pillar of the Kong family. Extremely repulsive to high-tech mobile phones and computers, let alone live variety shows, which are even more outrageous. No. Just hear me out. The little girl recited a song Kai Nguyen Chun Snow with great uprightness. It actually inspired the rhythm of heaven and earth and caused strange phenomena in heaven and earth. In the current late summer and early autumn season, heavy snow falls on the sky and the earth, and even tornadoes are frozen in ice. If it were normal times, this young man may not dare to be presumptuous. especially the middle-aged man in a long gown who didn't dare to disobey. But today, things were too important and too shocking. He can't control that much anymore. What? Impossible. Inspire the charm of heaven and earth? Causing strange phenomena in heaven and earth. Is this the practice of Heiran Genkigong to its peak? Quickly turn on the live broadcast you are talking about and show me what is going on. The old man sitting at the top suddenly stood up, trembling uncontrollably, and waved to the young man. Okay, Grandpa. The live broadcast has passed, let me show you the replay. The young man said, opening the tablet computer that he had prepared a long time ago. He found the replay screen just now. Hi-hoo-la-la, everyone except the old man also gathered around. Including the most old-fashioned man in a long gown. Middle-aged man. Because this matter is too important to their Kong family, and even to the entire Confucianism and Taoism. Tongue charming lotus, is this her charming tongue lotus technique? Why does it feel like she can perform it much more easily than us? Judging from what she just wrote, she has indeed practiced the secret art of the saints of our Kong family, Heiran Genkigong. Dayun. Oh my God, she actually inspired the Taoyun of heaven and earth. How can it be? How many years? How many years has it been since no one could inspire the true Taoist charm of heaven and earth? Even the guys over there who claim to be direct descendants can't do it? Yes. The blessings of saints are getting thinner and thinner. There are fewer and fewer opportunities for us to understand the charm of Taoism. Ordinary ancient characters alone can inspire the charm of heaven and earth. How on earth did she do it? It's snowing, it's really snowing. Those tornadoes must be caused by the power of evil spirits. Directly frozen. What's going on? What is this little girl holding? Elbow? I am not wrong, right? What kind of nonsense is this? Wait, she took the opportunity to take a bite? Is that edible? A group of old antiques who were shouting just now that they are not allowed to watch the live broadcast here. At this moment, everyone watching is more excited and serious than the other. After all, the little girl in the picture, the cultivation method is closely related to all of them. What makes them unbelievable the most is, the little girl in the picture, who is only 5 years old, has a level of understanding of Heiran Genkigong. It far exceeds that of the Kong family, the inheritance of saints like them. This they couldn't accept it? Of course, what's even more outrageous is that while this little girl was showing off her righteousness, she also held a big elbow in her hand. She even secretly took a bite during the break. It made these old antiques really don't feel too bad. What a nonsense. This is simply nonsense. In their eyes, Zhou Shi's act of blaspheming the saint is tantamount to violating the laws of heaven. But they can't say anything, and they are even a little bit the blow has hit. People hold a big elbow as if they are joking. It can stimulate the rhythm of heaven and earth and trigger the visions of heaven and earth to come. Every time I and others use the secret technique of the saint, they will burn incense and bathe as much as possible. Even wishing to purge oneself from the palace. It cannot reach this level. Between the two, there is a judgment. You said, this. The Heiran Genkigong practiced by this little girl couldn't be handwritten by a saint. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Heiran Genkigong written by a saint has been lost for many years. Yes. There are no so-called direct descendants on Wan's side. The stranger's handwriting is just a rumor, and it's not necessarily true or false. How could it appear in the hands of a little girl? The biggest doubt now is still how this little girl received the blessing of the saint. Except for us and Wan, no one can do it. It seems that the only way to find out is to find a chance and ask her. But, someone specifically told us not to act rashly. This little girl's mysterious father seems to be very powerful. Perhaps only her father could know the truth about the saint's blessing. I finished watching the live broadcast replay. The originally intense atmosphere gradually became deserted, and even became a little sad. After all, the descendants of the dignified saint, the Kong family, have been practicing the saint's secret technique Heiran Genkigong for generations. Nowadays, was actually surpassed by a little girl, and it was far surpassed, the kind of rubbing on the ground. If this spread, it would be really embarrassing. The most important thing is, this thing is live broadcast. I think it's impossible not to spread the word. Grandpa, or else. Let's all watch the live broadcast too. Learn more about this little girl. Maybe I can learn, and get a glimpse of her secrets. The young man next to me suggested weakly. Good. Let's watch it together. The Suanman is about to open, and the age of great strife is coming. It's really time for us old-fashioned people to make some changes. The old man had just finished speaking. He saw several middle-aged people who couldn't wait to take out their mobile phones. Including the middle-aged man who was wearing a long gown and claimed to be a scholar. He didn't play much with electronic technology, and he was also the first to do so. Took out the latest Apple mobile phone and entered the live broadcast room. Sci-fi village, the scene of the wedding banquet. 8 tornadoes touching the sky and the earth were frozen in the center of Optimus Prime. Joshi held the big elbow and took a vicious bite. Let the wind blow for you. If you waste more food, I will almost blow my baby's big elbow to the ground. Who doesn't know weather forecast? Are you stupid now? You are frozen into an ice sculpture. Joshi ate the elbow while making vague remarks. Everyone scratched their heads when they heard the words. It was really a murder caused by an elbow. Someone had filmed it on the internet before, and the joke about foodies protecting food. But that was just a joke. Now Joshi has taught everyone a living lesson. Ah! Little calf. How many techniques have you practiced? 8 buzzing sounds came from the frozen Optimus Prime. At the same time. Bang bang bang, bang bang bang. From inside the ice wall, there were constant sounds of collisions. But it doesn't help at all. The thick ice is as hard as refined steel. There are also lines of blessings from mysterious auras on it. Unless Joshi takes the initiative to let go, otherwise, even if they are killed inside, they will never be able to get out. Stop struggling. You'd better think carefully about how to move bricks and screws. This baby is counting on you to help me make money to buy dolls. After this baby has finished eating this elbow, I will get something to pack you all up. As Joshi said, she accelerated the speed of chewing the big elbow. It made Yang Mi and Diliriba not far away amused. This little guy. Today, he has 2 obsessions, one is to catch ghosts. Go move bricks and make screws, and make money to buy rag dolls. The other is to eat this big elbow. Unexpectedly, there is a dream linkage between the two. Good money Zhao, is just nonsense. As long as he sees that Joshi is fine, Tama will feel at ease. Including the villagers in Shilifen. Seeing that the evil ghost was subdued, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Of course, there were many others. Still kowtowing to Joshi and worshipping her. It was determined that she was a deity descending to earth. Especially that middle-aged uncle named Yongfu. The look she looked at Joshi was not too pious. A proper little fanboy. He even discussed it with the people next to him. Wait until today is over. Build a temple and a golden body for this little god in Shilifen village. These words happened to be heard by Yang Mi, Diliriba, and others. The 2 of them almost had their jaws dropped. Little 11? Build a temple? Still get a golden body? Really don't be too ridiculous. But think about it again. If this were before today, even before noon today. It is definitely something that is beyond the reach of 8 poles, and I would never even think about it. But now. The ability shown by Joshi It is indeed understandable to treat people as gods. It's just, wouldn't it be too showy? Since Joshi and her unreliable father are both practitioners. Then there may be other practitioners in this world. What will they think when they see this scene? Can't help it. Yang Mi began to curse again in her heart, that bad man who hadn't shown up yet. What on earth is he doing? Pushing his daughter to the forefront. But he hides his merit and fame. Or, what is he planning? Island. In Yang Mi. When you are puzzled. Suddenly I felt that something was wrong with the surrounding atmosphere. The people who were still talking about it suddenly became quiet, and they were very, very quiet. Everyone's eyes were uniformly looking in the same direction. Following everyone's gaze. Yang Mi felt a slight chill in her heart. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 79. Old Village Chief, why are you here? I saw a figure suddenly appearing under the streetlight not far away. A middle-aged uncle named Yangfu didn't care to discuss with others the matter of building a temple and erecting a golden statue for Joshi, a little god. He stood up and greeted said. The other villagers also nodded and called each other. Just looking at the 8 frozen Optimus pillars. A sense of sadness inevitably rose in everyone's hearts. After all, the evil ghost inside was the old village chiefs. Mrsuohwa. They originally wanted to hide this matter. But there was such a big noise, how could the old village chief not hear it? I seem to hear it. The voice of my old woman. Is she back? Even if she is a ghost, I still want to see her. The old village chief said as he continued to move forward. As if he felt something in his heart. He walked tremblingly towards the frozen Optimus pillars. Old lady, is that you? Are you in it? This time, you came to me again, are you going to take me away? The last time you came to see me, I missed my child and couldn't leave with you. Now, even my grandson has grown up and is outside all year round. I can go with you. As the old village chief spoke, he stretched out his trembling hand and stroked the ice in front of him. He, who was already gray-haired, seemed to have aged many years again in an instant. Yang Mi and Deely were immediately shocked. Reba couldn't help but couldn't bear it. I don't know how many villagers in Shilifen had begun to wipe their tears. She didn't know why. The old village chief's wife inside, this time instead, he became quiet. He never spoke. Little fairy. Is she, still in there? Can you let her go first and let me see her again? I promise. She won't hurt you. After getting no response from inside, the old village chief looked at Joshi. He cupped his hands and bowed, with a look of prayer on his face. Old village chief. Baby, I'm very grateful, you gave me an extra elbow. But. Baby, I still want to ask you a question. When Joshi thanked the old village chief, many people's hearts froze, and even began to worry. After all, Xiao Shi is a little girl who is only 5 years old. She will not really agree to the old village chief just because of an elbow. Let's release those 8 evil ghosts. Although everyone also pities the old village chief. But, the heart of the Holy Mother cannot be tolerated. And when Joshi came out with the next 2 sentences, everyone began to doubt again. Regarding the old village chief's request, no response. What else does she want to ask the old village chief? Okay, little god 203 immortal. Just ask whatever you want to ask. If the old man knows, he will definitely tell you everything. The old village chief replied very seriously. I would like to know. Was the death of the old village chief's wife really an accident? As soon as Joshi said these words, everyone around was stunned. In the live broadcast room, there were also all kinds of puzzled expressions. They never thought that Joshi asked this question. Old, the cause of death of the village chief's wife? It happened more than 10 years ago. Joshi was not even born at that time. Little fairy. Why do you ask this question? This happened more than 10 years ago. People from the police station investigated at that time. It was indeed the garbage truck that broke down. Alas, my poor old woman. He was run over by a garbage truck while he was still alive. Over the years, I've been thinking. How great would it be if I didn't let her go to the market by herself that day? Or if I went to the market with him, maybe this kind of thing wouldn't happen. The old village chief seemed to be caught up in the memories of the past. He couldn't help but burst into tears. The emotions of distress and regret gradually spread, making everyone around him, and even the audience in the live broadcast room, feel the same way. Even some people started to say, Joshi is a bit too wild. Although you are only 5 years old, you are a childlike age. But you are very good. Why are you bringing up the sad things of the old village chief? Yeah. That's too much of a coincidence. After the old lady died tragically on the street, someone must completely collect her 3 souls and 7 souls within 2 hours. And taught her the practice of the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse. What's more coincidental is, the old lady's way of death was very cruel, but she was able to practice the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse to its ultimate state. That is to say, split, split and split again. Cultivate corpse clones one after another. A while ago, I felt in you that you seemed to be dealing with corpses all the time. Later I learned. This old lady happens to be your wife again, Grandpa. Another point. When you touched the ice with your hands just now, you didn't feel cold at all. It means there is chi in your body. You are a practitioner. In other words, you should have taught the old lady the art of nourishing the soul with corpses. But you said that you only met the old lady twice. Obviously, Grandpa, you lied. So, Grandma's tragic death that year was really not planned by you, Grandpa. The purpose is to make her more suitable to practice the art of nourishing the soul with the corpse and to practice it to the extreme. Joshi asked with a confused look. Her delicate little face was full of confusion and confusion. Although when she spoke, her tone was very calm and normal. Her little milky voice with excessive sugar content was even very cute. But when these words came out, the sensation they caused was unprecedented. I don't know how many people exploded at that moment. Ah! The hair on my head started to rise again when I was riding a horse, and goosebumps fell all over the floor. I'm afraid it weighed 2 kilograms. Seriously. This old village chief is the mastermind behind everything. Impossible. The old village chief looked amiable and kind, and he just gave Xiao Shi a hard time. I also feel that it is a bit outrageous. The old village chief designed to kill his wife. And it was the kind of tragic death where the body was shattered into pieces. How could this be done? There is a feeling that the world is falling apart. But I believe what Xiao Shi said. Although I can't believe it, what Xiao Shi said is probably true. Right? When the old village chief reached out to touch the ice, I felt something was wrong. That's solid ice that can trap evil spirits. He's quite old, but he doesn't even feel anything when he touches it. Details. Damn, it's scary to think about it. Today I have seen the horror of ghosts. Unexpectedly, now, Xiao Shi has taught me another lesson. What's even more terrifying is the human heart. Because of these questions raised by Joshi, the live broadcast room was abuzz, because this result was too unexpected. No one would have thought that this old village chief would have problems. Little fairy. You isn't that a mistake? The old village chief's wife, it was really just an accident at that time. I was going to the market that day. Witnessed it all. It was because of the breakdown of the garbage truck that the old village chief's wife met with misfortune. How can you say that the old village chief committed the murder? Yes. The old village chief was famous for loving his wife and children. After the village chief's wife died, he was often seen burning paper on the grave. I've seen it too. Even sometimes, I come back very late. Absolutely impossible. I absolutely don't believe that the old village chief would do this. The middle-aged uncle named Yongfu took the lead. Other villagers in Sci-fi also said good things to the old village chief. I do not know. I'm just a little curious as to why it's such a coincidence. As for the accident you mentioned. As a cultivator, it is quite simple if he wants the garbage truck to malfunction. Also, if he burns paper on the grave, he will spend more time in the evening. Maybe he's helping the old lady practice. Joshi said unhurriedly. At this moment, everyone was quiet. Although they still couldn't believe that the old village chief, who was so highly respected in the village, would do such a thing. But they really couldn't refute Joshi's words. And couldn't refute. Because they thought about it carefully. When the old village chief went to burn paper on the grave, it was really mostly at night. Ha 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 ha. Just when everyone fell into silence. Weird laughter came from the 8 frozen Optimus Primes, Xech. Shocked everyone. Ha ha, old thing. This is a mess. I've said it before, good and evil will be rewarded in the end. You will get retribution one day. It was the voice of the old village chief's wife. And her words immediately proved all Joshi's guesses just now. Little girl, you are right. Mom, my death was either an accident or caused by this little thing. And over the years, I have been controlled by this old bastard. He pretends to be a good guy in the village, but I do bad things to him every day. This old guy has been planning this for a long time. It is said to be related to the opening of some mysterious gate. The old village chief's wife seems to have been harboring grudges for a long time. The secrets of the old village chief are about to be revealed in one fell swoop. However, shut up. A powerful voice interrupted the old village chief's wife. Everyone was startled when they heard this voice. It was the old village chief. It turned out that she was smiling in person, with silver hair, and could even be said to be on the verge of death. He spoke feebly. And the angry shout just now was completely different from his usual voice. In this way, the truth was clearly revealed. Even if everyone couldn't believe it, they had to imagine it. This old village chief has been hiding his clumsiness. If you tell me to shut up, I will shut up. Now, mother, I'm trapped inside. You stupid old thing, you can't control me. Little girl, let me tell you. There seems to be some kind of treasure in this village. The reason why it is called Shili Tomb, is because it was once the ancient tomb of a big shot. Affected by the ancient tomb, no matter what time the trees were planted in the entire village, they would grow into a shape with low sides and high middle. From the outside, it looks like the outline of a tomb. And this old man's family is the tomb keepers of the underground tomb, and they are also the tomb robbers who have been coveting the tomb for a long time. Once, I secretly saw their ancestral notes. It is said that when the Suanman opens this time, the portal of this ancient tomb will also open. There will be a lot of amazing things inside. This old guy has been planning for a long time, and he doesn't hesitate to kill my married wife. Just preparing for that day. Inside Optimus Prime, the old village chief's wife continued to break the news. Everyone was stunned and shocked. This Shili tomb is really an ancient tomb. And it sounds like an extraordinary ancient tomb. Just think about it, how can it be possible for a family of cultivators to keep the ancient tombs here for generations ordinary? Shut up. Damn it, shut up. The old village chief roared, his voice a little louder than before. At the same time, he stretched out his hand. A stream of light flew from a distance and fell into his hand. Everyone took a closer look, and found that it was a peachwood sword. As he took the peachwood sword, the old village chief's originally somewhat stooped figure slowly stood upright. Another stream of light flashed by. There was an extra piece of gold on the old village chief's body. Yellow Taoist robe. A bagua pattern on the back seemed to be glowing, extremely conspicuous in the night. At this time, the old village chief had completely stood up straight. Even his silver hair, it also gradually turned gray-black, and finally turned completely black. The third stream of light appeared. This time, there was a lotus crown on the head of the old village chief. There was a lotus crown inlaid on it, like a luminous pearl. The things were shining brightly. Through these shimmering lights, everyone also saw the old village chief's face. The old village chief's face was originally full of ravines and wrinkles. At this moment, it seemed as if all the wrinkles on his face had been ironed out. Yes. At least 30 years younger. How can he still be an old man? He looks like a middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s at most. He looks much younger than the middle-aged uncle named Yangfu. Ah, this, how did the old village chief become like this and even put on a Taoist priest's outfit? Could it be that the old village chief, is he also an old god? It's chaos, the world is in chaos. Why is this happening? I have heard from my grandparents before that the old village chief and his family all live very long lives. Now it seems that there is something hidden inside. I've also heard that the old village chief's grandfather and father both lived to be over 100 years old. The villagers in Sci-fi village were so shocked that they couldn't help but talk about it. After all, the villagers, maybe even neighbors, have been getting along day and night for so many years. Suddenly they discovered that, the old village chief had turned into another person. They couldn't accept it for a moment. Not to mention the online viewers in the live broadcast room. Especially those who just had some doubts about Joshi and even some complaints. At this moment, they just felt like they were being slapped in the face. It hurts. At the same time, they couldn't help but start to estimate the strength of this old village chief. Not to mention anything else. Just judging from this outfit. This guy seems to be extraordinary. Huh, I didn't want to reveal my identity originally. Since you, a little kid, don't know what is good and what is good, you must make the situation so tense. Pandeo Swanyun, just play with you. Let you know, what is a true immortal cultivator. The rejuvenated old village chief said with a sneer. The amiability and kindness he had just now are gone. Swanyun. With your Taoist name, don't you often get dizzy? But you are wearing all these fancy outfits, and they look pretty good. It will also fly here on its own, so it must not be an ordinary product. If I beat you to death, is it just possible to touch corpses and pick up equipment? My dad once said that. If you kill the enemy and don't touch the corpse to pick up the equipment, it will be unjust. Joshi said seriously. Her little eyes looked up and down at the old village chief who called himself Swanyun. As if he was already estimating the value of these equipment, everyone was extremely speechless. Little ancestor, haven't you noticed that this Taoist Swanyun doesn't it seem a bit strong? Yang Mi, my daughter catches ghosts. Scared millions of viewers. Author, Tianyi Madman. Chapter 80. Haha, every word Xiao Shi said fell on a point I didn't expect. People are declaring war with her, and she teases them about whether their Taoist numbers will make them dizzy. He is handsome and unrestrained, rejuvenating himself, which shows his identity as a cultivator of immortality. She was thinking that if she killed someone, she wouldn't be able to touch the body and pick up equipment. I can't help but laugh. I'm willing to call Xiao 11 the nemesis of pretentiousness. What ideas is her unreliable father instilling in her? The old village chief, no, it's Xian Yun. Obviously he wanted to show off, but he didn't expect that Xiao 11 didn't play according to the routine at all. In the eyes of a 5-year-old cute baby, I'm afraid what he sees is different from us. I also feel this way. Many times, Xiao Shi doesn't mean to do anything. It's just her childlike innocence that makes her thoughts and behavior more simple, direct, pure, and of course, a little rough. Should I say it or not, this young version of the old village chief Xuanyun looks really fierce. Peachwood sword, bagua robe, lotus crown, if you can fly here by yourself, it looks extraordinary. And this guy talks like a big shot. The tomb keeper for generations, originally did not want to expose his strength. Xiao Shi was forced to the point where he had no choice but to take action. It does have a bit of a boss template. The audience in the live broadcast room was very amused by Zhou Shi's words. At the same time, everyone also wanted to advise Zhou Shi not to take it lightly. After all, the guy in front of him calls himself an immortal cultivator. He does look a bit unusual. He can even design his own wife to die tragically. This shows that his evil nature is far beyond ordinary people. He and Zhou Shi have dealt with those evil ghosts and evil spirits before. It is not a series or a level. He is a cultivator. The only one is human beings. There are many times, human beings may be scarier than monsters and monsters. Little thing, so brave. You have only been practicing for a few years, and yet you dare to show off blindly. Are you still thinking about Bandeo's outfit? Yes, these are indeed 3 treasures. I'm afraid you have your life to see, but not your life to take it. Hearing that little Zhou Shi wanted to kill herself as soon as she opened her mouth, she touched the body and picked up equipment. The old village chief, Taoist Xuanyun, came up in anger. He has been trapped here for generations and has to protect the people under his feet. Ancient tomb, do you really think I have no temper? Anyway, now the Suanmen is about to be opened, and the immortal cultivators have been exposed to the world. I have nothing to worry about anymore. Buzz. A sound like a dragon's roar sounded. The peachwood sword in Taoist Xuanyun's hand trembled and burst into green light. Wow! So beautiful. It's really a good thing. Looking at the glowing peachwood sword, Zhou Shi was amazed again and again. A pair of beautiful big eyes, full of longing. This scene made everyone shudder again. This little ancestor's focus, can it be normal? Taoist Xuanyun was also confused. This little guy? What about when I give her a show? Or when I'm showing her a toy? Snort. The more beautiful ones are yet to come. Taoist Xuanyun, who was sulky in his heart, snorted coldly. The skills in his body were running, and his true energy surged out. On the peachwood sword in his hand, the cyan brilliance became even brighter. It was like a startling giant, soaring straight into the sky. It formed a line that was full of energy. There is a green sword light that is 50 or 60 meters long. The entire Shilifan village is reflected in dark blue. Crackling. In the sky, rootless thunder appeared out of thin air. Integrated into the green sword light. Make it more solid and tight, as if it has an entity. Shishi, shishi. The sound of the air splitting shook everyone's eardrums. The sword light that was 50 or 60 meters long carried the power of thunder. Aiming at Zhou Shi's head, he quickly chopped off. Baby. Little 11. Yang Mi and Dili Reba were both frightened by the formation of Taoist Xuanyun. I couldn't help but shout out. So does everyone else. Although everyone had already expected that this Taoist Xuanyun might have something. But no one expected, this guy would be so powerful. A sword energy of 50 or 60 meters is already an exaggeration. This guy can actually attract thunder from the sky and merge into the sword light. Everyone doesn't quite understand how powerful the sword energy is. But everyone knows the destructive power of thunder. The terrifying power contained in this sword light. I'm afraid it's enough to level a hill. What worries Yang Mi and Diliriba the most is, even in the face of such a devastating attack, Zhou Xi still stood there as if nothing had happened. There was no intention to dodge or defend. She even held her head high. A pair of big eyes flickered, looking at the cyan sword light that was approaching at a rapid speed. It seems that he is still studying how the small 3-foot peachwood sword in the hands of Taoist Suan Yun can inspire such a powerful sword light. It's a long story. In fact, everything happens in an instant. The green sword light, which was 50 or 60 meters away, reached Zhou Xi's head in the blink of an eye. Whether it is Yang Mi, Diliriba, or Wang Zhenjiao and other staff. Or maybe it was the villagers in Shilaifen village, or the 20 million online viewers in the live broadcast room. At this moment, they all held their breath uncontrollably. Many people even had their hearts skip a beat. Not to mention the barrage area and comment area. Clean and tidy as never before, a blank slate. Because the momentum of this sword is really too great. The energy contained is too fierce. They are really worried. Little 11, who is still looking cute now, can't bear it. But the next moment, an even more unexpected picture appeared for everyone. A big bone appeared on Zhou Xi's head. If you look carefully, you will see the origin of this big bone. It was what was left of the big elbow that Zhou Xi had just finished chewing. Do not know when. This big bone was thrown into the air by Zhou Xi, facing the green sword light. Because of this scene, in just 1/1000th of a second, everyone's mood couldn't be too broken or too explosive. What on earth is little 11 doing? Whimsical. Or are you too full and your little head is so full that it makes you feel confused? Don't you see it? How powerful is this menacing sword light? It is also blessed with the power of thunder, which can be called a level of destruction. You don't use your special skills to fight back. He didn't think of any way to avoid the sword's attack range. Just throw the big elbow bone in your hand up. It's not such a nonsense. Do you have confidence in yourself or in that big bone? At that moment, I don't know how many people hated iron for not being able to become steel. They couldn't help but want to close their eyes, but they couldn't even close their eyes. With their minds spinning, they even imagined how little 11 would die tragically on the spot under this fierce sword light. Especially Taoist Suan Yun opposite. Seeing Zhou Xi's actions, she couldn't help but flash a smile that belonged to a winner on her face. Children are children, so silly and naive. He actually got serious with her. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have had to put in so much effort. However, the next moment, the smile belonging to the winner on Taoist Suan Yun's face froze. Not only did he freeze, he also turned into a look of shock and horror. At this moment, the green sword light he used was 50 or 60 meters long. It was less than 10 centimeters away from Zhou Xi's head. Just hit that big bone. Click. That big bone shattered. This is understandable. But, at the same time that big bone shattered, a crack actually appeared on the extremely solid green sword light. Click. 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 There are more and more cracks, like a spider web, spreading to the entire green sword light in an instant. Then, the huge green sword light was 50 or 60 meters away. It exploded directly in mid-air. It was like a grand fireworks show, blooming just above Zhou Xi's head. Not only did it not cause her any harm, it also made her look even more polished amid the bits of cyan brilliance. It's like an elf with its own background board special effects. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! This time I want to say 100,000 shit, Xiao Xi, you are my eternal god. What happened? How did she do it? Such a fierce sword light was broken by a big bone. It's not scary to be broken by a big bone. The scary thing is, Xiao 11 doesn't seem to have used any energy on that big bone. Damn it, yes. She probably just threw it away. What the hell? What on earth is going on? I can't understand it. Judging from my experience in reading various fantasy novels, I can't understand the one on horseback either. This is not how you open plugins. Damn me. He was still doubtful just now, and Xiao 11's brain was showing off. Only now did I realize that it was me who was showing off my brain. I don't understand. Brothers, I really don't understand. Even if Xiao Shii utters a few words of lotus this time, I can convince myself, but she just threw a big bone. Could it be that green sword light belongs to the dog? I can't walk when I see big bones. Damn it, please don't be too outrageous upstairs, okay? My mind is already messed up. In the live broadcast room, the barrage area and comment area have been empty for a long time. It instantly entered explosion mode. There is no way, everyone really can't understand, or accept it. But how would they know? They are not the only ones who can't understand. Kyoto, unknown nursing home for the elderly, indoor activity center. The old men and women sitting on the small benches stood up again. And because I was confused, I was more irritable than ever before. Do you understand? Old thing. Fuck you, I didn't understand. Son, aren't you a swordsman? Do you understand? I am a sword cultivator on horseback. But if I were present, I would be the one who drew the sword, not the one who broke it. After living for more than 200 years, today is the most devastating day for me. A 5-year-old girl makes me question life. Who is riding a horse? When she cast the Dachan Golden Light spell, the 24th Lotus platform, I was already doubting life. There are so many of us, but no one understands it. Cultivation has gone all the way into the dog's belly. I just saw that the swordsmanship used by Taoist Xuanyuan seemed to be the swordsmanship of the Qing sect on Mission Mountain. Who asked you on horseback what kind of swordsmanship that old dog used? What we are asking is, how did Xiao Shii use a big bone to break the sword? A group of old men and women were noisy and red-faced. Until, another voice came from the live broadcast. The originally noisy indoor activity center suddenly became quiet. Everyone sat down on the small bench at the first time. On the screen, eyes fixed on the big screen. For fear of missing any detail. Puff. How can it be? In Shilifan village. Taoist Xuanyuan covered his chest, spurted out a mouthful of old blood, and stumbled back. As he backed away, he kept roaring like a maniac. He had endured it for many years and devoted himself to hard training. He was very concerned about his own war. He is very confident, especially as he sees the day when the Suanman opens getting closer and closer. He has already thought about how he can hide in the abyss and how he can accumulate wealth. It will be enough before he is born. Once he is born, he must shock the world and let everyone know his name. But he didn't expect that his first attack would be a failure. And it was in the hands of a 5-year-old baby. No, not just a 5-year-old baby. He was mainly planted on a big bone. From beginning to end, he didn't take this big bone in his eyes, but it happened that it was this big bone, directly let his mighty sword turn into nothingness. Wow! So beautiful, so gorgeous. He, old village chief. No, it's Taoist Master Xuanyuan. Your mahogany sword is indeed a good thing. It can actually absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and the power of rootless thunder. Let this sword energy float freely and linger for a long time. It's more exciting than any fireworks show I've ever seen. Zhou Shiai's voice came. At this time, she was in a stream of green light. Jumping around and having fun. If it weren't for the battle just now, it would still be vivid in our minds, leaving everyone with lingering fears. I'm afraid everyone really thought, this was a child who came to an amusement park. Puff. You, make me angry. Taoist Xuanyuan, who had just regained his footing, vomited blood again. It was different from the mouthful of blood just now. It was because the sword energy collapsed and he was injured by the backlash, resulting in vomiting blood. But this time, this mouthful of blood from Taoist Xuanyuan, Chun Chun was so angry that she vomited. The sword light that she had spent so much effort and practiced hard for many years, was easily destroyed by a big bone. It was actually treated as a fireworks show by this little girl. Humiliation. This is naked humiliation. Huh. Taoist Master Xuanyuan, why are you vomiting blood? You can't be injured already. I also want you to play with another sword. Seeing Taoist Xuanyuan vomiting blood, Zhou Shii was a little worried and said with regret. She still has a childlike innocence, but she actually speaks from her heart. At this time, the cyan light in mid-air had slowly dissipated into the air. And she hasn't had enough yet. But these words were heard by Taoist Xuanyuan. It's not just humiliation, it's provocation, it's even contempt. Puff. Little doll. You wanna die? Taoist Xuanyuan vomited blood again. He was still angry, but at this time, he could no longer control that much. After being humiliated and provoked one after another, his anger could no longer be suppressed. Buzz. Infused with true energy, the peachwood sword in Taoist Xuanyuan's hand once again bloomed with green brilliance. At the same time, Taoist Xuanyuan's left hand, index finger, and middle finger came together. Put it to your mouth and bite open a small mouth. Then he stretched out his hand and lightly touched the blade of the peachwood sword. Chi-chi. Chi-chi. After the mist evaporated, the cyan on the peachwood sword turned red. Scarlet red. Red as blood. Buzz. The true energy surged, and the red sword light rose into the sky. The entire Shili tomb was covered with a layer of enchanting and strange red light, faintly, as if there was blood flowing on the surface. Corpse.